Oh, I love when I'm looking at my chat. We're coming to you live immediately following the Golden State Warriors valiantly putting up an effort against the Miami Heat. The Warriors insanely shorthanded, but they made things entertaining. I'm laughing though because right here in the chat, Julian Bashir in all caps saying the last assist does not count. I don't even remember what play you're talking about, but I'm laughing because the sentiment is understood, Julian. Yeah, but look, again, the Warriors made things interesting. This could have and probably should have been just a straight up ass whooping by the Miami Heat in a game again where the Golden State Warriors, not again, I haven't mentioned this yet. They were missing tonight Stephen Curry. They're missing Jimmy Butler. They were missing Draymond Green. They were missing Big Al Horford. Buddy Hield made an appearance. I thought he was going to sit out as well. I saw something mentioned about him being ill. He showed up. The volume of shooting was there. The efficiency was not as usual for the season with Buddy Hield. But the Warriors made things interesting. 110-96 was the final, largely because of the final quarter of the game. That's when the Miami Heat made things serious and pulled away comfortably. But A for effort? Yeah, let's talk about it. We are powered by FanDuel, and this is the Golden Days. Let's go. Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild. The program is on most social media platforms at Golden Days Pod. And we are, as I mentioned a moment ago, powered by FanDuel. They are the official title sponsor of the program, but they don't have to be the title sponsor. They don't have to be the only sponsor. We are accepting local sponsorships, meaning sponsors that are just catered for you specifically, and it's not part of a bigger network. We could literally just make a campaign dedicated for you. Support the program, support an independent business that's growing. We're this close to 5,000 subs, folks. We're almost there. That's going to be celebratory mood for sure. But reach out to us, warriors24pod@gmail.com. Again, warriors24pod@gmail.com. If you're interested in sponsoring the program, again, we're almost there in terms of getting some new clients on board to help support us financially and otherwise. Look, it's when you start getting into the world of sales, which is one of like 8 jobs I have as part of this show and other things I do, you start to get a slightly more direct understanding of how the folks out there are feeling economically. And it does feel like a bit of a recession. I'm not going to lie about that. But don't give up on advertising. The moment you wave that white flag and you stop pretending that advertising is important for your business, again, that is literally just calling it, saying, tap out, I'm done. Don't do that. Go the opposite direction. Grow your business. We're all going to get through this. And email us if you're interested in advertising with a program that we're proudly can boast is one of, if not the most viewed, listened to covering the Golden State Warriors, and get the kind of love that we give to folks like FanDuel. Again, our title sponsor right now, the sportsbook for Golden Days and Believe. And I'm on their website right now, taking a wild shot to see if the Warriors and Blazers line is available. Something tells me it is not. That game is Friday. But look, good news. The Golden State Warriors survived the road trip. Worst case scenario, I was looking at 1-5. That Pelicans game was the only one that felt a little safe. But the 2-game mini sweep in San Antonio allows the Warriors to come home feeling good about themselves somewhat with a 500 record from a 6-game road trip that could have been a lot worse than it was. The line not available for the Warriors and the Trailblazers Friday. Side note, again, we will not have a post-game show. It might be the only time of the year, the entire year, where we will not be live immediately following the game. We might do something if I can figure out how to get this studio set up on my phone and do a little hit from Chase Center. I will. but I will be at the game. So partly because Rick Barry's in town, the Warriors at halftime of Friday's home game against the Blazers are going to be honoring the 1975 Warriors title team. It's the 50th anniversary, and I believe there's only 6 surviving members remaining, which is very sad. But so I'm going to be there to support Rick and just check in. I like to be at a Warriors game once, twice a year, just to say hello to friendly faces, not so friendly faces, a very toxic media environment that I don't miss at all when I'm not at those games. But it's also still nice to check in and say hello to folks out there. If I can get there early, I'll try to get a question in to Steve Kerr during the pregame presser. I do have a very specific question in mind for him. We shall see, but nonetheless, we will not have a show Friday night. And to wrap up the FanDuel discussion really quickly, I'm looking at the long-term picture, the long-term prognosis for your Golden State Warriors in terms of what the bookies feel about them. I'm always curious to see what the wins total is. The last time we looked at it, the OU was 50.5. I was telling you folks, bet the under on that. It's still there. And interesting side note, you can't bet the under right now. If you want to bet on the Warriors win total, you can bet over 50.5 with plus 152 odds, very favorable odds, but you currently cannot bet the under. Something tells me they're going to revise that line very soon, and you can get in with FanDuel and have fun with the action there. Welcome, everybody. Again, Kev F, by the way, saying a meet and greet party at Friday at Chase Center. Party where, though? Well, like, how'd that work out? Would it be literally in the arena, or are you all meeting up at a bar or something? Look, there will come a time where we'll start doing social events. We're just not there yet in terms of mostly financial reasons, but that'll happen. And look, if the Warriors win a championship, there's going to be a lot of parties this summer, but I don't think many of us are thinking championship tonight after the Golden State Warriors lost 110-96. Again, in a game where their stars were missing, the veteran core out tonight, Steph, Jimmy, Dre, and Al Horford. You could thank the NBA schedule makers for that one. Scheduling the Warriors have played more road games this season, I believe, than the Houston Rockets have played total on the year. Just to give you an idea of how insane the Warriors schedule has been with all the back-to-backs. Bob Fitzgerald on the broadcast tonight reminding everyone, just sit tight until the new year. After December 31st, more specifically New Year's Eve, the Warriors schedule is going to lighten up considerably in terms of road and home games, back-to-backs. So all the luxury you see teams like the Lakers enjoying right now with a hunky-dory, la-la-do schedule, the Golden State Warriors, the complete opposite right now. But that will change in the near future. Chardol's already jumping in. We're not even 8 minutes into the show saying, can I join? You're our closer, buddy. Yes, just wait till the end of it. But I want to start by honoring our player of the game tonight. And that individual is Quinten Post, who was on fire for big portions of this game. Well, I don't know. Should it be Pat Spencer? Because I was originally leaning Quinten Post, but then I remembered Pat Spencer, who played 32 minutes, 7 seconds in this game and hit career highs in points, hit career highs in assists. Pat, maybe it should be Pat. I don't know. What's the audience feeling tonight? I'm getting a Pat Spencer from Julian Bashir. Genji Gawk saying Trayce Jackson-Davis played okay. We don't want to give player of the game awards to just okay. Yeah, and Bamboo Soldier Bless up in the chat saying, what is up with the effing turnovers? On that note, in case you did not watch the game live, or it was a different stream, or you did not have the audio up from the local broadcasters, Bob Fitzgerald was losing his mind near the end of tonight's broadcast, if you missed it, because of the turnovers. And he started telling his color analyst, Kalena Azubuike, you know what Steve Kerr can do to send a message about those turnovers? He can bench those players that are committing those turnovers. And all I'm thinking in my mind is, you know what, Fitz? He can also do that to players who miss a lot of shots. He can do that to players who don't play defense. It isn't just the turnover game where an individual can get penalized, but Steve, peculiar Steve, and yeah, the turnovers were ugly. We'll get into that in just a second, but I want to know who deserves a player of the game. So I see another Pat Spencer. I see Ed Marsh saying Trayce Jackson-Davis and Quinten Post. So we'll lean towards a Quinten Post vote for that. Why are so many people leaning towards Trayce Jackson-Davis? I know he made his presence felt tonight, and he did lead the team in rebounding with 11, but he had 8 points. You gotta at least typically get into double-digit scoring if you're going to be considered for an honor like this. I know Brandon Podziemski led the team tonight in scoring, but it wasn't a great night for him. We'll get into that in just a second. That was largely because of just a playing time and a lot of field goal attempts for Podziemski. Podziemski had 19 field goal attempts. The only player with more was Buddy Hield, who had 20, and it's no surprise they are 2 of the 3 leading scorers in the game tonight. So who wins this? I get another vote for Pat Spencer. Ranger 49 is White Smoke, the new nickname for Pat Spencer, and if yes, why? Is it because of the stash? Is the mustache why he's called White Smoke? Julian Bashir saying it's Pat Spencer. T Ford, Pat. All right, I think Pat Spencer's got it. Kev F, Pat. Oh yeah, the votes are like overwhelming. Ed Marsh asking what's up with the 4-guard lineup. Yeah, welcome to the club in terms of people who just don't get it. G4M is saying Quinten Post is their player of the game. And then Young West, I think, coming up with the diplomatic answer. And there's nothing wrong with having 2 winners. I think Young West, I'm going to roll with you, sir, and go with the 2 players. We're going to have co-honorees tonight. It's going to go to Quinten Post, who had moments in this game where he looked damn good. I feel like he was almost single-handedly, him and Pat were single-handedly the reason why the Warriors were in this game. Quinten Post blowing kisses to the crowd when he hit a 3 in the third quarter that actually gave the Warriors a lead very briefly. So we'll give it to both. Let's start with Pat Spencer, because again, this was arguably the best game of his career. He played 32 minutes and 7 seconds, 11 points, 13 assists. That matters, folks. He also had 8 rebounds in this game, 5 of those offensive. Have yourself a night. Wait. Yeah. I thought maybe I was looking at someone else's stats. That is Pat Spencer for you. Really, the only blemish on the night for him was the 3-point shooting. He was just 1 of 4 from deep, but you take that away and a great box score. Almost had a triple-double, 2 rebounds shy. Pat Spencer, the stash. The stash is loose. Congratulations, Pat Spencer. You are one half. And then Bay Area Baller, is this you, Eric? Giving a vote to the Postman for player of the game. Let's take a look at what Quinten Post did as our co-player of the game tonight, courtesy of FanDuel. Quinten Post, someone who I've said, I first mentioned this about a month or 2 ago, and the more I watch him play, the more this rings true. Quinten Post, for whatever reason, when it comes to scoring, shooting, plays like a guard. He's far more efficient shooting the ball off the dribble than he is as a catch and shoot player, and which is weird for a 7-footer, but that's his game. And Quinten Post tonight played 26 minutes, 19 seconds. Side note, neither Quinten Post nor Pat Spencer started. Quinten Post in those 26 minutes and change, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 7 from deep, added 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did unfortunately have 5 turnovers. But he was also one of only 3 players on the team tonight who had a positive net rating. And this is one of those box scores, one of those nights. Here, I'll share my box score with the audience. So if you're watching this on YouTube, at least you can see what I'm seeing here. And again, this is what the box score that the media gets when they're in the press box or media section, whatever they call it these days. They're looking at what I'm looking at and what you're going to look at right now as well. So one more time here. Again, 3 players on the team tonight were in the positive in net rating. GP2, who came off the bench and played 19 minutes, 7 seconds, and was actually shockingly effective. He was one of the team's better players. Pat Spencer was a +10, led the team in that category. And then Quinten Post was a +5. And again, you can interpret certain things from these net rating stats. And what I can confidently interpret from this is that the main reason why the Warriors stayed in this game, the main reason why they even took a brief lead in the third quarter. Forgive me for the water. Was because of those three players, Quinten Post, Pat Spencer, and GP2, who was competent, also grabbed 7 boards on the night. The Warriors, as a team, grabbed 61 rebounds individually, and they grabbed another 8 team rebounds. So I believe that's 69 rebounds total for the Golden State Warriors to, wow, Miami grabbed a bunch too. That tells me there were a shitload of missed shots. Because the Miami Heat had 52 individual rebounds, 10 team rebounds, so 62 total for them, 69 total for the Warriors on just piss poor shooting on both sides. The Warriors shooting 26.5% from deep, 36.2% from the field total. Miami shooting 40.6% from the field, 37.1% from deep, so slightly better numbers from them. A lot of boards grabbed tonight. But again, Quinten Post wrapping it up on his stat line for the night, second on the team in scoring with 19. Brandon Pajemski led the team in scoring with 20. But when you look at the numbers, and believe me, we will, that was far more because of the minutes, volume, certainly more so than anything efficiency-wise. And I'll explain what I mean in a little bit here. But Quinten Post, 19 points, 6 boards, 3 of 7 shooting from deep, added a steal, added 2 assists. So it is Quinten Post and Pat Spencer, our players of the game. The more I talk about it, the more I'm feeling that Pat Spencer should have just won that outright. And if that's what I end up doing on social media, don't hate me. I'm actually leaning strongly towards just letting Pat get those honors for the evening. But yeah, I mean, look, when your team is this shorthanded, when your team is basically just having a bunch of scrubs out there, no disrespect to some of those guys, this is what happens. This is par for course. You're going to get a game where the opposing team, we've seen this happen to the Warriors, where they play teams who don't have their stars, and when that happens, typically you're taking the foot off the gas. The intensity is not as high as normal, and you let the other team in the game. And that's what happened here. So you had a valiant effort by the Golden State Warriors. Again, an A for effort there, but effort doesn't actually win you games. And so the Warriors, unfortunately, losing this one 110-96, the final. They get the next I was going to say the next 2 days, but today is Wednesday. So they get tomorrow off, and then they're back home Friday. And friendly reminder again, no Friday happy hour with Armando Lore, the professor, who I haven't even told yet. I got to reach out to him after the show and let him know if he hasn't been watching. But if there's a silver lining, again, Pat Spencer, the stash. It's a good slogan, because stash doesn't really rhyme with a lot of good words, but the stash is loose. I can say that much. Let me post the link if anyone wants to come on the show tonight after a night like this. Typically, we don't stretch out extensively just because there is not a ton of analysis. So if any of you out there have thoughts, come join the party. Phone lines are open, metaphorically speaking, because we don't actually use a phone to bring people on. We use a link that you click on, and then you join the show. Let's see if there's any sound that has come down yet immediately following this game. I saw Steve Kerr talk to the press. I don't know, however, if that is published anywhere yet. I don't see so. So we'll get some sound in a little bit and soon. But a few things here I want to point out stat-wise before I welcome folks on the show. If there's anyone that wants to come on, Trayce Jackson-Davis, I know some of you in the chat were hyping him up tonight. 8 points, did lead the team with 11 rebounds. The rebounding numbers by the Warriors as a whole, again, eye-opening. And this is largely because of just how many missed buckets both teams had. To put it in perspective for you, Trayce Jackson-Davis, 11 rebounds tonight, 6 of his 11 boards offensive. Guy Santos, 6 rebounds. 3 of those were offensive. Will Richard, who did not have a good game tonight, but his minutes were also really low. And these guys are never going to learn if they don't play. I digress. 3 rebounds tonight, one of those offensive. Moses Moody, who also did not have a good game tonight. This is now a 2-game stretch where Moses Moody's shot has been off, and that's a little concerning. If we're going to be critical here of players, I know the popular guy to pick on is Brandon Podziemski, and rightfully so, because he is Steve Kerr's favorite. He's third on the team in minutes. He gets a pass regardless of mistakes being made out there. Just he's earned the coach's trust. And if you're asking why, no one has an answer, because Steve Kerr just does what he wants to do without accountability. It's insane. But Moses Moody also deserves some criticism, because Moody played 35 minutes, 42 seconds tonight and was just 1 of 6 from deep. He was not matching the pace of play. That's what my eye test showed me, meaning when the ball got in his hands during offensive possessions, there was not a split-second reaction, which is what Kerr typically wants from his players. And Miami plays a fast-paced style. Again, they are arguably the best coach team in the NBA. And so Moody, like oftentimes these last 2 games, what I've noticed is just he gets the ball and just wants to slow it down. And that's not working in most NBA games. The speed of the game is very real here in 2025. And so if you're taking even just a split second and kind of figure out which one to do next, that is more than enough time for the defense to catch up and set themselves. So you're losing whatever advantages you may have created with that pass to you. So Moses Moody, 1 of 6 from deep, 3 of 12 from the field, 9 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. Again, in a team leading 35 minutes, 42 seconds, you just have to have more production when you're getting that many minutes. Wainster in our chat dropping $5. Thank you, sir. Writing that more Will, more Moody, more Gee, more Kuminga, and less Podziemski, less Buddy, less GP2. The front office message to you from the Wainster right there saying get a big, and Pat Spencer, our player of the game. Well said. That was a lot to unload there, and we got all of it. So but even and here's the positive of Moody on a night like this, and on nights where the offense is not there and the shot is not falling, at least he's still giving you defense. At least that 7'1", 7'2" wingspan is contributing on that side of the ball. And that's where Podziemski has become such a massive liability for this team. When he's not pouring in the points, he's also not giving you much defensively. And what I'm realizing more and more so with each game that passes this season is Steve Kerr loves to play Steph and Podziemski together. That is suddenly a sieve on your defense, meaning that's a hole. That is Swiss cheese and then some. Those two in the backcourt together aren't locking down jack shit. And Kerr needs to realize that much sooner than later if he wants to salvage this season and have aspirations for postseason success. It ain't going to come with Steph and Podziemski out there together. That I'm coming to a solid conclusion on. It ain't going to work. Not when you want, especially not with opponents getting more athletic and with speed becoming this much more emphasized as a variable in our game. You better match that with elite, fast defense. And Podziemski and Steph, that's not going to do it. Teams are feasting on that. Teams drool watching that. We saw that last night with Orlando as a perfect example. Podziemski tonight, his stat line, played 34 minutes, 27 seconds, second on the team in minutes total, just 6 of 19 from the field, 2 of 7 from deep. That's below 30%, right? That's below 30%. Shooting from the 3-point line, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Did grab 8 boards, but he only had 2 assists. Going back to the very start of the show where Julian Bashir was criticizing that second assist Podziemski got, saying that's bullshit, man. That's a garbage time assist, or whatever the argument was. Podziemski also had 3 turnovers in this game. And net rating, the stat that Podziemski's defenders and lovers always love to resort to. Not a strength tonight either, minus 13. But he did lead the team in scoring tonight with 20. Buddy Hield was third on the team in scoring tonight with 18 behind. And Quinten Post was sandwiched in between those two guys there. So that's a brief summary, and we'll cover a lot more, but I have folks waiting in the chat. Let's start with Alan Day. I haven't heard from you in a while, Alan. Good to see you joining us from Santa Monica.
Hey, what's happening? Yes, finals are around the corner, so I've been dogging it a bit, just trying
You're
to
in school?
Yeah, I'm at Trinity School of Law. So
good for you, brother. Good for you. What kind of law are you studying?
Man, well, it's just general studies at the moment, but
is this year one?
No. I'm 2L, but I love contracts, so I may pursue that. We talked about it in the past, but that's my Abby. Yeah, but man, it's
player agency. I know we talked about that briefly. Is that still the goal? Is to maybe be a player agent?
Possibly.
All right. Yeah. Stay strong. I know law school is not easy, man. There's no way to spin that.
It's draining, man.
It is. It'll be rewarding. You just gotta just hang in there, man. It's a 3-year grind, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So what's on your mind about the Warriors tonight?
Man, I haven't been able to get in here for a minute, but they're a little mid, man. I mean, it's while watching this game, it looked like it was hard to really find a guy that belongs, and that's the scary part watching the Warriors. Like, I've been saying this for a while. I just don't think they have enough NBA players on their team. And watching that game is just it sticks out like a sore thumb that, like, you had that many guys running the floor, hardly any of which looked like NBA players. Just being honest, just they looked like professionals. You maybe had like a couple. I mean, it was like watching a game. I knew, like, if Norman Powell just stepped on the gas, like if he just put some energy in the game, he could have just walked away with that game by himself. I was watching the game with my dad in the fourth quarter. I'm like, man, it looks like Norman Powell is just like lollygagging, but at the same time, he's probably just going to run away with the game. And, he probably got 3 or 4 consecutive buckets and was just like, you know what, let me just wrap this thing up. But, man, I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic like I always be. I know.
You're not always. Did you notice?
Man, people in the chat.
I was going to say, did you notice that play, Alan, near the end? Speaking of Norman Powell, where Podziemski set himself up for the charge, and Norman Powell was like, "No," and he just easily went around up for the layup. I'm a little surprised more players aren't doing that, to be honest. And Norman Powell, like, just literally just was like, "I don't think so," and just tilted his body slightly and just went right past them for the easiest layup imaginable. But Norman Powell led all scores tonight with 25 points. A hell of a pickup for the Heat.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think that teams think so less of Pods that they don't even add his attributes on the scouting report. That's why he continued to get away with that charge. Like teams don't even have him on the scouting. It's clear, like, they don't pay attention to him on either side of the ball.
By the way, real quickly here, sorry to interrupt you, but Urquita's family in the chat is asking if we've seen what's going on with Klay Thompson, and adding, it's sad, man. I saw something which I honestly wasn't sure if it was AI. I wasn't sure if it was one of those things that Centel was pushing out there, but I saw Klay Thompson with a tattoo of a heart on his shoulder and it said Klay and Meg. Is that true? Is that why this post is here?
I don't know, man. I don't really get up into that part of the game.
Urquitas, is that why you're writing that, or is it just the struggles statistically? Like if you don't mind following up. But I did see something like that today, and I just moved on because I was like, this can't be real. But if Urquitas is writing that too, I'm starting to wonder. He's referring just to his deteriorating play. Yeah, he's getting old. It happens. Father time catches up with the best of us. What are you going to do?
I mean, Klay kind of lost. I mean, we saw that. I mean, he had the 2 nightmare injuries for a basketball player, the ACL and the Achilles. I mean, come on, man, back to back. So it's clear, like, his game is like, I guess we kind of always knew that if he lost like a step, like physically, it would probably impact his overall game, and I think he's a little bit slower than he should be. And for me, Clay was always like a physical player, also, and so
Agreed. Strongly agreed. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Like his game can't match the physicality, so it kind of looks clunky. I know people get on Jonathan Kuminga's handles, but man, Clay's handles is like not even half of JK's, and so you have that loss that you lose a step. His handles are dead. His physicality is a bit off. I think that Clay also gets in his head also. So
Mm.
I think he knows that he's not where he think he should be, and it's probably killing his game because the shot hardly ever go away, but it's so mental. So I think that's
And
what
maybe
Clay.
Clay just needed a little humbling too, and maybe this was the experience that brought him that. Who knows? I don't know. But
Man,
Clay certainly was acting like a guy who still was at the peak of his powers when he left the Warriors, given the contract demands and whatnot.
as he should, man. You're at your contract year. You have to sell yourself. Nobody else will. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I'm saying?
true. Yeah, that's
So,
true.
like, if you don't speak for yourself, nobody will.
Do you
And
want some,
Clay,
Alan? Before we go, and Sharia joins us as well. Sharia, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Do you folks want some good news?
what's that?
The Warriors released a press release today that, press release is the wrong word, but they provided an update regarding DeAnthony Melton. Melton has been practicing with the Santa Cruz Warriors, and he's going to be reevaluated in 10 days. So today is November 19th. 10 days from now will be what, November 29th? So we'll check back right after Thanksgiving, and maybe we'll get DeAnthony Melton on board soon, and let's hope and pray for the Warriors' sake that he takes Podziemski's minutes. That's what I'm hoping for. But that's some good news, regardless. I hope. I don't know.
I'm not high on that, man.
Shree, is that good news? I think that's good news.
It's good news, but he's
Bro,
still a guard.
And his skill set is what Kerr drools over, like the ball handling and the quick reaction. It's there just aren't a lot of players on the Warriors that fit that skill set that Kerr just, again, loves inexplicably, right? And Melton fits that, that prototype, if you will. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it means more minutes for him and less minutes for players like Podziemski, who just really should not be getting the amount of minutes that they are getting, in my opinion. Another paid chat, by the way, before you go, Alan, also from Waynster. Thank you, sir, saying the first Golden Days party should be at the airport where we waved bye-bye to Podziemski, but he yielded GP2 after they're traded. I don't keep your hopes up for that, but I like the idea. Mike Dunleavy Jr. as the party MC. Again, we'll figure that one out. Alan, any final thoughts before we bring Julian on the show?
Well, I'll leave you with this. I mean, the first guy you probably will be walking to the airport is Jonathan Kuminga, because that his injury or whatever situation, it just sounds sketch. And when it happened, I kind of noticed he was kind of slowing down a bit. But mentally, I don't think he believes that he should probably even be given 150% to a team a team that's not invested in him. So he is probably the guy that's out. And if he does come back, in terms of, I think it'll be like, he'll play a little bit here and there, but December 15th is the date. And I think that JK will be on the next train smoking. And I think he is excited. I think he knows that it's almost that time. I think he knows that he showed the league enough that wherever he go, he is probably going to be the team that he probably prefer and sign that extension with. He's not going to go to a team that he's not going to extend with. The next team, that's probably keeping an eye on things will be the team where day one, the moment he is traded, he will sign a significant extension, and that date is on its way. I know we love JK, but I don't think JK is going to be with the Warriors much longer.
Alan, have a great night, brother. Stay strong with law school. It's not designed to be easy. Just focus on the critical thinking aspect. That's what they're challenging you on. They want you to be able to play the logic game and just hang in there. I know there's a lot of memorization, a whole lot of just finite details to focus on. It ain't easy, man. So stay strong. You're getting there.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it.
Dude, of course,
And,
dude.
favorite co-host. Always love to see you. Take it easy.
You too, brother. And I want to say this as well, Sharia. I don't know if you agree with this sentiment or not. I still don't think Kuminga is going to get traded. I don't. And the main reason is I just don't see for who. Like, if it's going to be Trey Murphy, maybe like that one's kind of makes a little sense. But would New Orleans do that? I think New Orleans treasures Trey Murphy. I don't know if they'd want to move on from him for Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. But I don't see a trade out there that would satisfy what the Warriors would be looking for a Kuminga trade, and B, who would make Kerr happy in terms of a chemistry fit. I just don't see that. Maybe, and again, maybe there's something out there that I'm missing. But every player that I would want, I just don't know if the other team's willing to give them up. I don't know if Kuminga would be the right price, and it goes both ways. So if anybody has any Kuminga trades, throw them out there, and I'll let you know if it's realistic or not. Because, for example, like Simon too is saying, Kuminga to the Bulls or Pistons. For who?
Right.
For who? Like, who do the Bulls have that the Warriors would give a shit about? Nobody. Who do the Pistons have some names, but any of the names that the Warriors would actually want, I don't think Detroit's giving them up. Like Ozzer Thompson. Would the Pistons trade Kuminga for Ozzer? Hell no. So who else are we talking about here? Like when we have and Riz is saying Kuminga for Sabonis, would we do that? Is Sabonis like really someone that the Warriors would want? Would the Kings even do a swap like that? So, here's the thing with Sabonis, and Sheree, I don't know if you agree with this or not, the sentiment or not, but everywhere that guy goes, winning doesn't follow, right? He had one good year with the Kings, and that Kings team was set up perfectly for that beautiful season where they still got lost in 7 games to the Golden State Warriors. They did not have much success outside of that. I know they made the playoffs one other year. They did not have success in Indiana. What makes you think Sabonis is some magic salve for this team? Side note, he doesn't play defense. He's awful at it. If we're talking about pace of play, speed, awful at it. He's just a big lumbering dude who is not Nikola Jokic. And if you're not Jokic and you're that big and slow, you don't actually have a shitload of value in this league. You do for like an individual team like the Kings who just need someone, right? A name. But for the Warriors who are trying to like look to the future and are looking to try and win a championship, I can confidently tell you that trade would not happen, but that's just me. How are you doing, by the way? We haven't heard from you and I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
No, doing well. I like Sabonis, but I just don't think that the Kings would do it. Not for Kuminga. I don't think so. And I also don't think that anyone's really in the market to help the Warriors. So that's the other thing. So I don't see a trade.
That too. Joshua Labrador is saying, well, how about Kuminga for Nembhard and Nesmith? Why would Indiana do that?
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the other side of it. Like Indiana's happy with those guys. They were literally, if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, they might be the world champions right now. So they're not going to break that up to bring Kuminga in. So Urquita's family is saying Zach LaVine, hell to the F no. Like, why would you want Zach LaVine? Like, that's the last thing the Warriors need. Speaking of players who don't bring winning along with them, it's gotta be a player that moves the needle, that shifts the paradigm slightly for the Warriors. And there's only a handful of dudes out there who would do that. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I could be wrong. Shreya, what's your reaction to the Warriors and the Heat game, which featured a lot of scrubs, some silver linings in there, but ultimately went as expected?
It was hard to watch, but I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect it to go the way it went. We did well the first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know what happened, but I do like Pat. I always say I like Pat. I think Pat is a good connector, facilitator. He's good.
Well, again, Pat Spencer tonight, first of all, you can see that just watching him and Pods play together, you can just visibly see with your eyes the difference between the two. One plays much faster, one's more athletic, and I'm referring to Pat Spencer. But Pat tonight showed you what a point guard is supposed to do. Right. 13 assists. Like, every time I see Podziemski with the ball offensively, he makes passes that like anybody could. He just gets the ball out of his hands and he's running around setting screens. That's all I see. And in Kerr's eyes, that apparently is invaluable. It's like gold. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know. Like Urquidez family bringing a Michael Porter Jr. Like the Warriors would ever in a million years roll the dice on that dude who just got a notice from the NBA and the Brooklyn Nets to take it easy on his podcast. Apparently, he made some denigrating comments about the WNBA. The dude has the IQ of a turtle. No, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'm looking at some of these proposals, and I'll entertain them happily. But I'll also be very real for you in terms of whether or not it's. Here's the thing you have to consider with any trade for Kuminga. Couple things. One, Joe Lacob loves him, so you're going to have to blow his socks off. Two, it's got to be someone who, when Steph is not playing, can pick up the load and at least make things interesting for you, right? Kuminga does that. Kuminga is a player who can literally, if you have to have him handle the ball and bring it up, he can do that. His three-point shooting is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's actually, I haven't looked at the percentage lately, but it's pretty good. He's a 5-tool player. He can literally defend 1 through 4. If he has to defend 5, so be it. He can play 1 through 5 offensively. So you'd need someone like that. And like, I love defense, saying Kuminga for Luka Doncic. Again, you got to keep in mind would the other team do that. The Lakers would hang up the phone and be insulted and say, you're on a 3-year ban now for trade ideas if that happened. Sharia, what are your thoughts on a lot of people are bringing up Kuminga. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel sorry for Kuminga. I wish he was somewhere where he was utilized, but he's not. I don't see them trading him either. I think we need him. I mean, our plays need an upgrade. They're dated. We look so dated, Not only are we old, it's just our system looks old. And everyone knows it. Everyone's onto us. The jig is up. The jig is up. Why not insert someone that's super athletic and young and aggressive? We need an upgrade. The rest of the league is young and aggressive. Like, we're so dated.
Yeah, an X-Man who typically in our chat is a very heavy Kuminga critic, saying he's not a 5-tool player. Not yet, but the potential is there for that. And that potential alone carries a shitload of value in the NBA. Think about what he would look like if he had a coach who actually nurtured him, who gave him minutes, who coached him instead of just telling him how things are and they just left him alone the entire rest of the time. That's what the relationship is. That's what Steve Kerr, that's how he coaches. He just like literally will tell you how things should be. And then he just sits there and has his assistants actually doing the more heavy lifting. And then he makes all these in-game decisions pertaining to rotations and otherwise. Yeah, and Simon too saying Kuminga for Isaiah Stewart of the Pistons. Isaiah Stewart, come on, man. Let's be serious. Like, I need to stop entertaining that. Let's bring Julian on the show. This seems to be the theme of when we have it's the Jersey theme. It's a Jersey thing. Isn't that a South Park episode? It's just a Jersey thing. Julian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You two already hit on a point that I wanted to make, which was that what is a connector? Because Pat Spencer goes out there and gets 13 assists. And so my comment of Pods didn't get his last assist doesn't count because it came with less than 30 seconds to Moody cutting the basket, and the Heat already had won the game. So they just let it happen. So essentially he had 1 assist in 34 minutes. And I don't understand the confidence and the reins that have been handed over to this player, and he keeps on getting exposed. So it's not about Pod's hate. For example, I'm not critical of Moody because he went out there and did what I expected of Moody, whether it's good or bad. He got rebounds, moved the ball, he just missed shots. But it seems as if when it comes to Pods, there's this expectation that's not showing up, and this 28, 29-year-old lacrosse player exposed him on a 2-way contract. And so when you're saying, oh, I need a connector out there, and I wrote something in the chat that the shooting guard position literally says shooting guard. That's the spot when I grew up in my youth with Kobe, T-Mac, all these, Allen Iverson. That is your main score. That's supposed to be your main threat for a team, at least for like the main 50 years of NBA, and now it's more spread out to point guards and small forwards. But the shooting guard was supposed to be, you're going to be the shooter, and so this 6'4" or under, unathletic, short T-Rex arm, floppy haired dude playing right next to Steph Curry is not making sense to me. And even a game where he's not around, okay, show us what you got. Show us that you can be a point guard. And I think Pods, credit to him, he's a genius because he got millions because he went to, I forgot what his first school was, but he was so bad that he couldn't get minutes. So he transferred over to a school that only had one NBA player drafted from it, Santa Clara. And I think that's
Correct,
Steve Nash.
Yeah. And I've had people tell me, bring that up about how Podziemski couldn't even break the rotation. And it was a school in Illinois. I forgot what the school was. Was it Illinois or Wisconsin? Somewhere around there. And then he transferred to Santa Clara, played there a second year, and again, shot 43.8% from the field, grabbed nearly 9 rebounds a game as a guard, and it caught a lot of people's attention. But yeah, there's like some player on the school, in this school he was playing at in Illinois, wherever it was in the Midwest. There's like another NBA player who was ahead of him, and the joke is that how was Podziemski an NBA player when he couldn't even get past that dude at Illinois? I don't know. I'm not subscribing to the logic, but I've heard people, credible people, bring that up to me.
Not all Division I should be in Division I. So we're looking at a player that might have had good Division II stats. And one last thing, because I don't want to talk about Paz all the time, but there's some people in the chat that do see it. He does this thing, and I haven't gone into like the analytics, but he does this thing where he leaves his man open at the 3-point line. He's always sinking in. There was a play today where he was literally standing behind someone's back of someone else's defender, while the other it wasn't like someone that you should be doubling, and it just kicked out, and he had to run out. He's always doing that. He's always sinking into the middle, even if the middle is covered by other Warriors players. Like, there's no reason for your presence there, and it leaves a lot of open shots. Even if his man misses the shot, it leads to offensive rebounds or a swing pass to someone else that is open. And people that are not looking at the intricacies of the game are not seeing the gaps of logic that's happening out there when it comes to Pods. So I don't know. I give up when it comes to this. You're muted.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's look, Podziemski's become a polarizing figure because, again, he's third on the team in minutes, but the numbers don't typically substantiate that. I hear you, man.
Well, I'll say some positives of this game. It showed us what we already know, which is if Steve Kerr is willing to play two different styles, all right? So if you have Curry on the floor, play a certain style. But Trayce Jackson-Davis, he's not good with dribbling or any other type of moves, but you guys are Warriors fans. When he was drafted in his rookie season and there was a stretch in his second year where he was a starter, if he plays with people such as Draymond Green and passers, he is a great drawer of like vertical spacing. So he can get you 10 rebounds. He had a bunch of double-doubles in his rookie and second year when he got minutes. He can block shots. And remember him and Klay Thompson had that bet that he's not going to call him Trayce until he got his first double-double, and he got it not too long after. And
but did he get more? Did he get more of them? I don't remember a bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know like the number, but definitely in his second season, because he was a starter for a little bit in his second season, and I don't know why we went away from him. But
it sucked. That's why, because the second season. I mean, didn't they miss the playoffs? The second season was last year. This is Podziemski's third year, isn't it? So you're talking about a rookie season.
Trayce Jackson-Davis.
Oh, Trayce Jackson. I thought you were talking about Podziemski. I'm sorry.
No. No, I'm just saying. So this game.
With the double doubles. Okay, that makes more sense. This game
taught us that Trayce should have more minutes. Post, he had a great game, and if he had turnovers because you put him in bad spots. One of those spots was like Post was cutting down the baseline, and I think it was actually Pods or Moody that passed, or it was actually Buddy that passed him in the ball where he was on the between out of bounds and the rim and put him in a bad position. So that's not really on Post. But we were taught today that if we surround the players with the right teammates and understand their limitations, we can be successful. So how is Post successful? Put him next to Green and the other starters, commit 25 minutes to him and say, okay, you're only going to shoot. And when it comes to bringing the ball, no. Same thing with Buddy. Kerr needs to have a message to the whole team. Buddy Hield cannot bring the ball up the court. And just like he tells Kuminga, you can't shoot mid-range shots, there needs to be a rule to Buddy. You cannot bring the ball up court. And someone needs to run to him whenever he has the ball in the backcourt and get it away from him. But then the rest of the communication of this game showed us that Buddy should be DNP'd. Pods is not that dude. Pat Spencer might be a backup if we're not going to improve this team.
Third stringer. Yeah.
Gee is all hustle and nothing else. I'm sorry, Cy. I know you like him and everything, but he's all hustle. But when it comes to other Gee Santos, when it comes to other aspects of the game, he does foul, he does turn over, he does make bonehead plays. So I don't think he's ever going to crack an NBA rotation.
Well, I don't know if he made boneheaded plays tonight. I mean, again, the shooting wasn't there for Gee tonight, and that was unfortunate. But I mean, the late game minutes, he started awful, but then so did everybody. Like Will Richard, for example. Are we going to judge him from tonight's game? He had 0 points. 0. He was 0 of 3 from the field. 2 of those shots were 3-point attempts. The only thing he really contributed was 3 rebounds, had a turnover. I'm not going to sit here and based off tonight say, okay, he sucks. And Gee Santos played the exact same minutes as Will Richard, and at least Gee scored some points. He grabbed 6 boards. I'm not ready to write off Gee. I need solid sample sizes before I judge people. That's how I roll. I don't know, but that's just me.
Well, my only pushback is that we've seen 3 years of Gee, and
again, but that doesn't matter. Like a player could be on a team for 10 years, but if they're only getting 5 minutes at a time, you're still never going to get a good analysis. Like all these minutes are controlled by Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr is judging off whatever subjective parameters he has set up in his mind. Right? That's how he gives minutes. He has his weird like itinerary or criteria. I'm sorry for what is deserving of a player getting minutes, and it's not necessarily based off real life sample sizes. If players are not getting real minutes, I just will not. Me personally, this is how I roll, man. And Julian, you're entitled to how you want to do things, but me personally, I just will not judge a player who shows potential and promise until they see real minutes out there. And that's always been my gripe with Kuminga. Now in year 5, again, friendly reminder, Jonathan Kuminga is 18th in his draft class in minutes per game. 18th. Yet you have so many people ready to act like they know exactly what this player is going to look like 5 years from now, or what this player will look like if you gave him another 10 minutes a game. If you gave him another 10 minutes a game, he'd be a 25 and 10 guy night after night. Now, Gee Santos, I'm not saying he's going to be a 25 and 10 guy night after night, but what I keep saying with Gee Santos is on a consistent basis, when you're debating who the 5th guy on the court should be, whether it's Al Horford, whether it's Quinten Post, whether it's Trace Jackson, I'd like to see Gee Santos get some more opportunities, because when he actually got opportunities last year, which seemed to happen regularly, like he was trusted, and tonight he started. So he clearly, like Kerr, I see some value in him. I just want to see him get some run, especially with surrounded by the top dogs, because we all know that whoever is on the floor with Steph, Jimmy, and Dre, they're going to succeed, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Whoever's with those guys on the floor, they're going to play well. Your net rating is going to surge. You're going to get a lot of open looks. It's going to look good. So then the question becomes, okay, like which one of these guys is helping those core 3 the best? Like who actually assists them the best to produce a successful team as a whole, right? And I just want to see Gee get a shot, man. Like he's not a bad 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. He's the energy he brings for this modern game. You need it. He's 6'7", so he's not little. So at least he's giving you size out there. That's my whole thing, man. And look, he might be shitty. He might. Kuminga might be shitty. He might. But I need to see it. I need to see sample sizes that represent real minutes to have a conclusive answer. And with Kuminga, every time he plays 30 minutes or more, I've said this stat repeatedly, he puts up nearly 21 points a game. Jonathan Kuminga, when he plays 30 minutes or more, shoots 41% from deep. 41. That's a damn good number. He's also grabbing 7 rebounds a game, nearly 7 when he plays 30 minutes or more. Never mind if he was playing 35 or more. Like Stephen Curry in his heyday was putting up 36 minutes a night. That's my argument. With Guy Santos, I would like to see him get more of a shot. That's just me.
Okay. I think I can see your point there because with –
It's okay if you don't. It's okay. We can disagree, right?
As you were speaking, what I was thinking is that those mistakes that we see, whether it's foul or turnovers, if you got actual real game time, you would be able to figure it out, especially with the people that you're playing with. Because we saw a lot today, and I think that's because none of the lineups that were out there, they actually played together. You saw where someone would pass to an open space while someone was cutting away from that space, so it just ended up flying out of bounds. So I see your point there, Cy, where some of the things that we saw tonight may have not been may have just been an off timing because they don't know what they're who they're playing with. So if you put Guy around some consistent players and he understands what his role is, you might see something different.
Right.
Julian, have a great night, brother. It's always a pleasure. Any final thoughts before I move on? Because I have a lot of people waiting.
Oh no, that's it. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Thank you. There's a lot of talk, Cherie, in the chat about eating poo-poo. I don't know what's going on there. I can't figure it out. I know.
I don't even look at the chat. The chat's nuts.
It can be. It's just like the internet, right? It's just like social media, except it's just there at the moment. Wainster dropping another $2. I appreciate you. Thank you. Saying Vooch or Davis for Kuminga and pause. Which Davis?
Which
Anthony
Davis?
Davis? Is it Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis would be nearly impossible because you'd have to match salaries with the Mavericks, and that's so like the only trade that I've seen work out for Anthony Davis is trading Jimmy Butler for him straight up, which I don't hate that idea. Side note,
I do.
But you do hate that?
Anthony Davis? You mean Anthony Davis?
Of the Mavericks, yeah. Okay, then forget it. I'm not
injury
pushing
prone.
Yeah,
I'm not too injury prone. I love the guy, and I feel so sorry for him because it's just so unfortunate. He's never on the floor long without getting injured. But that's the last thing we need. We got enough problems. You got Al, we got Buddy. We no.
Fair enough. And then Vucevic, again, he's on the final year of his contract. He might be available for cheap. I would not give up either. Well, Podziemski maybe, but that's not a realistic trade, largely because
they wouldn't take him. No.
Who, the Bulls?
Yeah, they wouldn't take Podziemski for him. I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Again, Vooch is 35, 36. He's old. He's getting up there in years. Mm-hmm. And this is the final year of his contract. Chicago might bite on that. I don't think the Warriors would bite, though, because Kerr loves Podziemski, and so I'm guessing you'd have to blow his socks off if you're going to make a trade like that. But Vooch, ultimately, I'm not giving up real assets for him. My aspiration for Vooch being on the Warriors is just wait it out, and maybe he's a buyout candidate, right? Mm-hmm. Because the Bulls, who did have this phenomenal start, are back to being a 500 team, so maybe they buy him out, right? Come January, around that time of year. That's my thoughts on it. Shreya, what do you think?
I just don't think we'll go for him.
I hear you. Yeah, I don't see it being realistic. Yeah, I'm with you. Wainster, thank you so much for the donations. I Love Defense is saying he's been in the league for 5 years. I don't know who that's in reference to, but I don't know what the context is there, but I'll repeat what I said a moment ago. It could be 10 years. If the minutes aren't there, how does that matter? If someone's just sitting on a bench for 5 years, what does the 5-year number mean, right? The minutes is what counts. Like that's what you should be focusing on in terms of analysis and trying to figure out who a player is and what they can give you. Sugar Sweet in the trade saying trade Kuminga for a young player and Kerr will ruin him also. I don't disagree with that. But Steve Kerr's future with this team, I think it's safe to say might expire as soon as the end of this season, maybe the end of next season, but his time is short with the Warriors. Kuminga or that other young player, we're talking 10 plus years, right? 10, 15 years. So two separate situations, two separate equations, if that makes sense. And Shreya, jump in if you have any thoughts on any of these. June Adolfo saying Kuminga for LaMelo Ball. Now you're talking in terms of equivalency, in terms of a fair trade, youth for youth. I don't know if Charlotte does that. I also don't know if LaMelo Ball is what the Warriors need to win a title this year, because that is the primary focus, but I don't hate it. Shreya, your thoughts?
I mean, I like it, but there can only be one star. So if Kuminga
Yeah.
can't get it off, they're not going to let LaMelo Ball do that. So no,
Yeah.
it wouldn't fit strictly because of that. He's too
Have you
bright of
been
a star.
Have you been following LaMelo at all? Like, is he playing this year? Because injuries have been like the name of the game for him his entire career. It's unfortunate.
I haven't watched much of Charlotte, to be honest with you. Mm-mm.
No one has. No one has. Urquita's family in the chat's bringing up, how about Kuminga to OKC for 2 number 1 picks? I don't hate that. My follow-up, my question to that is, A, how does that help the Warriors now? Because this might be Steph's last shot at a title, and that is a part of this equation that we're discussing. B, why would OKC do that?
Right.
Right? Like, I know they got a stockpile of picks and they can afford to give it up, but of all the players that they can go out there and get, why Kuminga? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like why mess with something there that is a reigning world champion? They're currently in a borderline perfect position to repeat as world champions. Side note, OKC is your perfect example of where Steve Kerr got it completely wrong in his argument about this game's pace picking up, causing injuries, and they should shorten the season. Well, then why is Denver okay? Why is OKC okay? Maybe focus on your own team and players and stop worrying about the goddamn length of the season. I don't know. I don't like those deflections that he keeps bringing up and the excuses. I don't like excuses. It just excuses don't mean shit. That's just me. Simon 2 saying Kuminga for Jason Tatum. Would the Celtics do that? And how does that help the Warriors this year? That's the reason why I wouldn't.
It has to benefit the other team. I think people keep forgetting that.
Yes.
It has to benefit the other team. That's why OKC wouldn't do it. Why would they do it?
Exactly.
Like, they don't need it. It has
Exactly.
to benefit the other team.
Baby Cakes in our chat saying Jaden Ivey of the Pistons. Not the worst idea, but that's one of those again where does that help the Warriors win a title this year? Right? Like, you're going much smaller by trading Kuminga for Ivy. Like, you're adding another point guard when I feel like the Warriors have a shitload of those, even though none of them outside of Steph are that good. But it's just you're adding to a glut. D'Anthony Melton's about to come back. You know, I don't know what's going on with Seth Curry. I'm guessing a lot of you folks are now noticing his absence and nobody talking about it. I'm going to be at the game Friday. Maybe that's what I'll bring up. Maybe that's what I'll ask somebody. I'll try to dig when I'm at Chase Center Friday on that answer, because I'm dying to know what's going on with the Seth Curry situation. I'm just getting through all these chats real quick that I noticed while we were talking. Another trade idea, Toussaint in our chat saying or asking or suggesting Kuminga, Moody, and Trace Jackson Davis plus picks for Paul George. Oh, dude, you've got it completely wrong in terms of Paul George's value. You could give up nothing and probably get Paul George. The bigger question is, if you're the Warriors, do you want Paul George? Sharia, your thoughts on Paul George?
No, he's selfish, and we don't need that.
And he's old.
And he's old. He's
prone.
dated too. I was gonna say he's injury prone. I mean, those days are over. Like, that generation, it's a wrap on them. So we can't get anyone from like that generation. I mean, look at Philly now. They're killing without him. So we don't want him.
Shime in her chat saying, I think Kerr and Laker were beefing behind the scenes. No, here's what's likely going on. And believe me, that's the Kerr Laker dynamic is one of the things I'm most fascinated with, because it is slightly mysterious. We don't know how often they communicate. We don't know how close or distant they are. But I can tell you this with damn near certainty. Joe Lacob loves Steve Kerr for a myriad of reasons, chief among them, Lacob loves his stars. And Steve Kerr, with all his faults and illogical decisions that he makes, he's still a quote-unquote star, meaning, you know, the dude, he's a guest speaker at symposiums. The dude, if he's available for an interview, anybody would take it. The guy was speaking at a presidential convention. He is a name. Steph loves him as well. I don't think there's any animosity there. My guess is for how that relationship works is Joe makes it clear who he values, right? And that includes Kuminga, that included James Wiseman. And what he isn't doing is pushing back on Kerr. I wish he did. I wish Joe would pick up the phone just even once and called Steve and said, start playing this guy this many minutes, stop playing this guy this many minutes, or I'm going to fire your ass. I wish it got to that point. It's not getting to that point, though. Those two also won 4 championships together. And when you win 4 titles with someone else, there's going to be a bond there that is just, it's tight. And and then you have I Love Defense saying JK for 3 Palestinian hostages.
Oh, no, sir. Why would you say that? Who said that?
I think he's being facetious. Naveen, joining us, I believe, from Dallas, right? How are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay, thanks.
Hello.
Hi. So, yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring up the points like whom others brought up earlier. Man, this Potts, I don't know how he's called a guard or how he's called a backup. He always dribbles into the traffic. He don't know where to go. He circles around near the free throw line. He either throws it away or gives the ball to the other players on like putting them in tough situations like 2-3 seconds to go. He won't be giving right passes. I don't even know. Like if someone needs to back up in our team, it should be Pat Spencer, not him. It is like I don't know like how coaches are not telling this to Steve Kerr or they're not seeing it. I don't even know they're getting paid in millions just to see that, right? If people like us, like who are watching it as a fans, are understanding it and seeing it, I don't know why no one is bringing up to them, or I don't know what's going on.
Real fast, by the way, if we're going to be talking about what the Warriors should be doing instead of what they're actually doing, and I'm still waiting for confirmation. I hope we get him, but LJ Cryer needs to be playing. Exactly. Like this kid, if you're gonna put faith in Will Richard, why not extend that logic to LJ Cryer? And I'm gonna look up his numbers currently in terms of what he's doing in Santa Cruz, because this kid, off initial impressions, and again, an initial impression may not represent reality, but he did enough in the preseason and he's doing enough early in the season for Santa Cruz to convince me that I want to see more. Exactly. Like I want to see what this kid can do under more high pressure, real life, real world situations, and not just the G League. Because the last time we looked at his numbers in the G League, and I'm trying to find his numbers again. The G League is a side note. The G League, sorry to interrupt, but the G League really needs to do something about their SEO optimization. And if you don't know what that means, SEO is an acronym that stands for search engine optimization. It basically means findability. It means how easily people can discover you online. The G League is absolutely awful at that. Sorry for the rant that no one cares about, but go ahead, Naveen, while I look up LJ Cryer's stats.
Yeah, sure. So the one, like, this is also one of the points which I want to bring up. Thing is, we should get someone who can dribble the ball, who can handle the ball. Steve Kerr always brings up the connector. I mean, I understand in his terms that maybe someone who can dribble the ball, because no one is able to. I mean, this Buddy Hield should go. He is the name who should go. I mean, I know he's a really good person and the vibes are good and all, but at least in the last season, in the beginning of the season, he was very good. Now it is not even there and he's making silly mistakes that is like killing. Even in today's game, in fourth quarter, we were up. Like he fouled on a 3-point shot and then immediately gave that turnover. It was like, I don't even know sometimes what he's doing on the floor. Yeah, that is one name. And also, thing is, Pod should be gone this trade deadline. I mean, I hope Mike does something without getting Steve Kerr's approval regarding to Pods, because as long as he's on the team, he will be getting minutes. So we will be discussing about it.
My hope is that when DeAnthony Melton comes back, we're going to hopefully see him take some of the Podziemski minutes, because Kerr is very I don't know if rigid's the right word, but he's very dead set in his ways, and one of those ways is always having a prototypical point guard on the floor, right? Like you rarely, if ever, see the Warriors with lineups where there isn't at least one like point guard that you think of as a point guard, traditionally speaking, right? Someone who can handle the ball very well, someone who's pass centric, even though Brandon Podziemski, again, the assist numbers are abysmal. By the way, LJ Cryer, his numbers, and this is just through 3 games, but and I don't know if that's what I saw last time, but through 3 games, LJ Cryer averaging 24 points a game, and there's only 3 games recorded. Shooting 39.9% from deep, 85.7% from the free throw line. Also grabs 4.3 boards a game. I know someone in the chat, I think Julian mentioned that he's only 6'1". Again, yes, he's only 6'1", but I would rather take a 6'1" LJ Cryer with that athleticism than a 6'3" Pat Spencer or 6'4" Brandon Pajemski. And he's grabbing 4.3 rebounds despite that. So he's very athletic. He also dishes out 4.7 assists per game. Dude, I want to see LJ Cryer, man. And I also really hope he comes on the show soon. I'm still awaiting word on that. Go ahead, Naveen. I apologize for interrupting you.
Yeah, sure, no, sure. Yeah, I was telling something, right? So yeah. So my bad on that.
You're good. I interrupted you. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just
So
finish up. Whatever it was, just finish up, please.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. It went off my mind. I don't know.
You are good. You
Yeah.
are good. You're fine. You're how is Dallas, Texas, by the way? Which I was reminded of when I saw the show Landman, the season opener the other day. Sharia, do you watch Landman?
I don't watch much TV because I
That's right.
make
You're missing out.
TV. Yeah,
You're missing out. It's
basketball.
okay.
That's it.
Naveen, do you watch Landman? Because it's based
No.
in good old Texas where you live.
No, not yet. At least maybe I'll try. I'll give it a try today. Maybe I'll just see what it is.
Naveen, have a great night. You know, you're always welcome. So whatever you forgot about, we'll bring you back.
Yeah, sure.
You all good though?
Yep.
Okay. Well, again, we won't have a show Friday, but we'll make up for that either with the Saturday show. Oh, here's the schedule coming up on that note. And every time you see me looking at the phone, I'm just looking at the schedule because it's literally on my phone as a wallpaper. So the Warriors play Portland Friday, and then they get 2 days off. Jesus. I mean, when has that ever happened? Before another home game Monday against Utah. Look at this home cooking. I like this schedule. Then they play Houston Wednesday. That's going to be tough. Then they get 2 more days off. So Thursday, Friday next week off. Then they play the New Orleans Pelicans Saturday at home. That's a nice way to, that's a nice little 4-game stretch there at home with some nice days off in between. Sharia, that sounds really relaxing.
Yeah, no
I like
excuses. No excuses then.
No excuses. And then they finish up the homestand, by the way. The 5th game of the homestand. This is the following Tuesday, December 2nd. OKC comes to town. So it's not going to end on an easy note, but I like those days off. Like the Warriors have not had those, and it's wearing on them a little bit, you know?
They need them. They need them. They need to practice. I was hearing that they haven't been practicing. They've just been looking at a lot of film. They need it. That's the only way you're going to develop the chemistry.
You heard correct. It's not just that they haven't practiced during this entire road trip. They haven't even had a shoot around. What that means is, by Naveen. Sorry. What that means is, if you're not familiar, shoot around is when they come out onto the floor about 2 hours, hour and a half before tip, just to warm up, right? Like the players aren't even doing that on this trip. Like they literally were just sleeping as late as possible, coming to the arena as late as possible. They're grinding. They're grinding like all of us normal folk on this world.
It's crazy. And that's why I don't judge Trace. Could you imagine? No shoot around and not playing.
Yeah. And then you have Craig Ross in the chat saying they're so lazy. Just lazy sons of bitches, just collecting
old.
$50-60 million paychecks just so they can be lazy mofos. I'm being somewhat facetious, but I also kind of feel you, Craig. 9,500 One Forest. Is that a $20 donation? Thank you. If that's true, I was checking to see if that's like some other currency. $20? You just bought me 2 meals? Jesus, thank you. Putting that towards the Golden Days Fund so we can stay in operation for years to come. Sit writing, until the Warriors get rid of Kerr, nothing is going to change for this team. Agreed. And that's a huge reason also why I've kind of given up on the whole rhetoric about getting him fired, because he's not going to get fired. That's just not going to happen. And I'm not going to sit here and argue for something that's not realistic. But you're also right. As long as he's here, just going to be more of this. Adding Kerr is too stuck in his ways, and it's been hurting the team for years now. Agreed on all those fronts. He's constantly playing players out of position. Love your show. Thank you for that. That means the world. Sharia, what's your reaction to 9,500 One Forest with the $20 donation?
I agree 100%. It's the same thing we've been screaming for the last 3 years. It's unfortunate, It's obvious. Everyone sees it. We all see it. The fan base sees it. And the league, everyone else in the league sees it too. Other teams see it. Other coaches see it. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm down in the dumps, but we seem cooked.
At the moment.
Right.
And again, this is where I'm trying to tell people, encourage people to stay optimistic, because this stretch of the schedule has been brutal. I forgot who said it. Like, it was a national media guy who came out and said that he thinks Adam Silver hates the Warriors for giving them a schedule like this to start the season. It's crazy. But if you look ahead, it does get easier. Even just this upcoming week, you have 2 gaps of 2 days in between games, which means one of those days they're going to practice. And the camaraderie building, the chemistry building, like you mentioned, Shri, a moment ago. Side note, in the chat as well, Zeed1233 writing, JK for Denny Avdia. That is probably the most rational trade proposal I've seen tonight. And that's just my opinion, right? This is all entirely subjective. I'm just giving you what I think. I'm just telling you what I think. And hopefully it's right, or at least close to accurate. But Denny Avdia would be awesome. My only hesitation on that proposal is whether or not Portland would do it. I think Portland loves that guy. I don't think they would pull the trigger on that trade. What are your thoughts on that, Sharia?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they love him. It's got to benefit the other team.
Exactly. Just like you said. Let's play a soundbite from Kerr real fast, and then we'll get why Kerr isn't fired on the show. And if I remember your name correctly, that's Quinten. Correct me if I'm wrong with that when you come on. But let's first hear real quick from Steve Kerr. These are comments immediately following the conclusion of the Golden State Warriors 6-game road trip, which, again, regardless of how you spin this trip, they did finish 3-3, and largely successful trip because of those 2 games in San Antonio. And let's hear Steve Kerr's opinion on it immediately after the game. I think this is the only soundbite we're going to get tonight, unless some of the beat writers go into the locker room and get some sound there. But my guess is the Warriors are immediately racing to that airplane. They want to get home and be with their families. So this might be it. But here's Steve Kerr. This is courtesy of Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle. He recorded this on his phone, so you might have to turn up the volume. And let's hear what Kerr has to say about a 3-3 road trip.
Really proud of the guys for the effort, the fight. I thought Bam and Norm took over the game the last 5 minutes, but we hung in there. A couple stretches of the game where we went cold really hurt us, and then the turnovers. We had maybe 4 of them, like when they pressured us on inbounds, and we weren't able to, get the ball up the floor cleanly. Those possessions really hurt, and give Miami credit; they put a lot of pressure on us.
I know these turnovers aren't necessarily related to who you guys are, longer term as a team, but how concerned are you about just the overall turnover situation that you guys have, and how, as you go into a week with a lot of practices, how much will you hammer that?
I'm very, very confident that we will get that turned around. We got it turned around last year after we got Jimmy, cut our turnovers way back.
But I don't mean to interrupt the press conference, but I have to before I lose this train of thought. One thing that Kerr does, Sharia, which drives me insane, one of many things, but this one is near the top, is, and this isn't yet another example of Kerr not being genuine, but rather spinning, propagating, like trying to save face, if you will. He keeps bringing up that stretch last season when they acquired Jimmy Butler and they went 23-7 to finish the year. But what he continually ignores, and the season before, he was bringing up the team record as well as an excuse to not trade Andrew Wiggins. And then right after the trade deadline passed, Wiggins went back to being MIA, half-heartedly showing up. And the team didn't even make the playoffs that year. They lost in the play-in. And that was Klay Thompson's final game, 0 of 10, playing Sacramento. What he disregards, though, with the rhetoric of like certain records at certain times is the strength of schedule. The Warriors' strength of schedule last year, those final 30 games, that was the easiest part of their schedule on the whole year. So 30 games represents over a third of the season, right? That was your easiest third. So stop pretending that the easiest third of your schedule represents reality. Now, this is also another extreme where you have all these back-to-backs, you have the road games, You have a lot of tough opponents mixed in. But what I will say, if your goal is a championship, that what you're doing now is far more accurately representing who you are as a team than, let's say, this season, if Kerr's deciding in January at the end of it, look, we went 18-3 in January. See, because what I did means that it's working. The opponents who you're playing plays a massive part in that. And if you want to take yourself seriously, and I'm directing this right at Kerr, stop pretending that strength of schedule doesn't matter. And when he used that same rhetoric 2 years ago to preserve Wiggins on the team for another season, when they clearly should have traded him then, they also went through this cakewalk part of their schedule. And they won just enough games for Kerr to convince the front office, see, we're fine. Don't trade Wiggins. We just won 4 or 5. Yeah, you won 4 or 5 against Charlotte and Brooklyn. Take it easy. The strength of schedule is vitally important in these speeches that he's given when he talks about stretches of a year as his anecdotal evidence. In reality, you have to factor that strength of schedule in. And that 23-7 mark when they got Jimmy was what included in that were some really weak opponents. And that's where I have to push back. That is not a genuine thing when he keeps bringing that up. And sorry to interrupt the Kerr's conference. Here's the rest of it.
So that's going to be the focus when we get home. We're 8-0 when we win the turnover battle, and I think 1-8 when we don't. So it's pretty clear cut. We have to do a better job of as coaches of giving the guys better, spacing and cutting and teaching it better so that the decisions become easier. And then they've got to do a better job of just making simple decisions.
And this was the 17th game in 29 days. Is there a sense of relief or solace knowing that the schedule is going to lighten up at some point? You get 5 coming up at home.
Well, there would be, except we have a game in 48 hours against Portland. So not like we have a break, but we do get to go home, and that's the big thing. We've only had 5 home games out of the first 17. So schedule does turn our way, but we need to take advantage of it. We've got to get better.
Are there any data points that you feel like you collected on this 6-game trip as a group?
Well, there's plenty of data. There's plenty of film. I was just most pleased with, after that OKC game, just felt like our level of fight and competition was where it needed to be. And so we were able to, obviously split the 6 games on the trip coming off that, that beat down in OKC. And so I like where we are now, better as a team, but we have a lot of work to do.
Steve, kind of to that point, you were saying.
All right. So that was and Kerr emphasizing turnovers, which has been an issue for the Warriors this season in terms of wins and losses. GF4M in the chat, real quick, Sharia, sorry to talk so much here. I don't mean to steal time from you, but is basically disagreeing with me that the final 30 games last year was difficult, and he's saying that it wasn't challenging. So now you're going to make me actually pull out the schedule to show you who the Warriors were playing when they traded for Jimmy Butler. A friendly reminder, they traded for him when they had a 25-26 record. I'll read off every game that they in terms of who they played since then, so you can hear for yourself. Never mind the fact that I've already researched this extensively. And yes, of course, there's still challenging games in there, but more times than not, there were not. Case in point, so after the Warriors went 25-26 last year, Chicago, Milwaukee. Last year, not that good. Dallas, they lost that game, and Dallas was last year was not good. Houston, they're good. Sacramento, Dallas, Charlotte, Orlando, Philly, Charlotte, New York, Brooklyn, Detroit, Portland, Sacramento, New York, Denver. Yeah, that's a tough one. All right. And again, there's going to be some tough ones in there. Milwaukee, Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio, Memphis, LA. That was a decent one. Denver. Okay, tough one. Houston. Okay, tough one. Phoenix, San Antonio, Portland, LA. And that's the last one where they lost. G4M, are you seriously going to sit here and disagree with me again? Why did you make me do that? I mean, it makes me look good. But for the folks in the chat who just love to be a contrarian, friendly reminder, I do research my shit before I talk. I don't just talk out of my ass. Sharia, I'm going to look up the turnover numbers from tonight real fast, but your take on Steve Kerr and his words pertaining to turnovers and how he feels about this team as a whole.
Oh, Steve, you can never measure greatness against mediocre. If you just can't, you can't do that. You can't base if the team is good based on the opponent being whack. Like you can't do that. It just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that he gets up there and says it out loud,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. You don't know your strength if you're playing against weak opponents. You know your strength when you're playing against strong opponents, not weaker ones.
This is an individual, sorry to interrupt, but this is an example of someone who represents a massive flaw of human nature, which is people that just can't admit when they're wrong, when they are wrong. And I hope someday we as a civilized a species evolve where we can admit sometimes, okay, I was wrong about that. G4M, it was easy. Sharia, I just listed every game that the Warriors played since they traded for Jimmy Butler last year. Did that sound difficult to you?
No, it didn't. You had some teams like the Nuggets and the Lakers and, the Rockets that were kind of difficult. But for the most part, it wasn't,
And I wrote a whole article on it, and I literally calculated the strength of schedule, and it's something like the win percentage of all those teams was like 38%, 41%, something ridiculous. Of course, you're going to have a few playoff teams in there. The Pistons, who I gave a thumbs down to, and someone was like, "Dude, but they were a playoff team last year in the East."
Right, okay? The East is totally different.
Give me a break, dude. Unbelievable. Just take your L's every once in a while. I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes myself. We're all human beings. It doesn't mean you're a lesser person if, God forbid, you're wrong about something. Jesus Christ. G4M. Now you're just getting annoying because it wasn't 15 games. That was the stretch. It was 30. Okay? Not 15, 30. Stop trying to spin this. That is literally now spin and just annoys the ever-living shit out of me. Billy DeBono, by the way, a former sponsor of ours, Billy is owed a co-hosting gig. That is part of what I offer for any sponsor. His band Decades, you folks know Decades. He was sponsoring us for a long time, saying, what will it take for me to get in the press pool to interview Kerr Friday? I'm going to try to get there on time, and I'm going to ask Steve either about Seth or I might bring up all the goddamn different starting lineups, because the Warriors have had, I think, 9 now this season, and they played a total of 17 games. So if what I have is correct in terms of information, that's over half of these games that the Warriors have played this season have involved different starting lineups. And I'm going to ask them, like in your mind, is that not detrimental for developing stability and consistency? I want to hear what he has to say about that. And I'm just going to literally spit out numbers to him in terms of the different starting lineups, because I think last year they had something like 38 or 39. This has been a trend for like 3 years now. And I'm going to do my research on that. Simon 2 is asking, I'm interviewing Kerr. Well, no, I'm going to be at the game. I'm credentialed, so I can go into the pregame press pool and be one of the schmoes in the media going, Steve, it's not really like that, actually. You actually ask a PR person for the mic, and they give them the mic, and it's your turn. But yeah, I'm curious about that. And Billy DeBono, I have missed this person decades. Reach out to me when you're ready, Billy. I owe you a co-hosting gig. You deserve to sit in that chair, just like Cherie is now. And folks, follow Billy DeBono's band Decades. They're on Facebook and Instagram at Decades Official, if I have my facts correct. And Billy, great to hear from you, brother. I've been wondering how you've been, man. I know you're busy and touring out there. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sponsoring us all those months. Shri, any thoughts about anything that I've talked about? I feel like I'm talking so much. Forgive me for that.
Yeah, and also ask, how many assists does a connector have to have?
I can only ask one question.
I know. I would love to know that.
And here's the thing. Yeah, I don't want to be like called out as just being a Kerr hater, and I feel like if I do
Right.
that's a very pointed, subjective kind of thing.
Right.
Because now I'm picking on him for using the word connector, and I want to avoid that. I want to maintain relationships, but I hear what you're saying. If you can craft it in a manner where it doesn't come off as me sounding
Right.
biased,
I'll have to think about it.
yeah, think about that. Think about that, please. But yeah, absolutely. But the lineups is because I was thinking about that. I'm like, in what world? And Rick Barry has publicly come out repeatedly with that criticism as well. He does not believe that constantly mixing up your starting lineups is conducive for success. And the Warriors, in their championship years, were not doing this. This is something that the last 3 years has become a very prevalent thing. Ramona Shelburne, who was on the show last year or earlier this year, I want to bring her back on soon. Hopefully that will happen. Brought up the fact that the lack of consistency with rotations, with roles, plays a negative part in the development of the youngsters because they have no idea what like it's not being communicated to them what they need to do to keep their role. Because sometimes they'll do exactly what Kerr says, and regardless, they'll see their minutes go from 25 to 5. And it's just one of those like stay the course, and that doesn't work with young players. That is not a methodology of teaching that is successful in terms of developing confidence, in terms of trying to foster and nurture growth for a younger human being. So I need to be something. I need to be objective with whatever I ask, and the lineup thing is what came to me. I'm listening though. I'm open minded, Sharia.
No, the lineup thing is a great question too because we want to know that too.
Ben Binary brings up does Steph enable Kerr? Yes. If there is any Stephen Curry criticism you will ever hear from me, it is that Steph. And look, I don't even think it's criticism because I respect Steph for believing in individuals staying in their lane in terms of their own roles, and he trusts Steve. Like Draymond has also trust Steve, and I'm guessing the Jordan Poole thing undoubtedly played a huge part in that because Steve Kerr could have easily been punitive, and Draymond could have faced much larger consequences for that punch. But he was their ring night. He was their opening night. We never saw suspensions. I don't think we even saw a fine. And Dre is loyal to that man forever for that. On top of the experiences they went through to win 4 championships. So yes, does Curry enable Kerr? Yes. But if anyone can get away with it, I would argue it's Stephen Curry. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah. You don't have to repeat yourself either, Ben Binary. We heard you the first time or read you the first time. Sharia, the turnover numbers, going off what Steve Kerr said about the team being undefeated when they win the turnover battle. True stat, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, that was not the case. The Warriors had, Jesus Christ, 23 turnovers tonight to 14 for Miami. And those 23 turnovers resulted in 34 Miami points.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. Did you say that already? I'm sorry.
I did. I
sorry.
saw it when I was watching.
Forgive me for that. Yeah, but that's crazy. And here's who committed all those turnovers. Quinten Post, 5. Pat Spencer, 2. Buddy Hield, 4. GP2 had 0 in his 19 minutes, 7 seconds. Look, I know he's beloved. And I've said this before. I don't like criticizing GP2. I don't have to tonight. He was actually one of the bright spots for the Warriors. He played a good game.
He did.
GP2 played a good game. GP2 grabbed 7 rebounds in this game.
Didn't he have blocks?
2 blocks, 2
blocks.
steals.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good game. No criticism, no GP2 criticism for me tonight. But turnovers, he had 0. Pajemski had 3. Moses Moody had 3. Trace Jackson Davis had 1. Guy Santos had 2. And Will Richard had 1. And so that's 21 individual turnovers. And there were 2 more team turnovers. That usually means that it was a shot clock violation, something of that vein where they don't necessarily attach the turnover to an individual. But and KKS in our chat bringing up, I think, a valid point, which is that he can't or she can't care about turnovers until Draymond and Steph lower theirs. Valid point. But tonight, Steph and Dre did not play, and that number was still high. The why of that, who knows? Are they just bad? Are they
the communication? At times they look like they didn't even know each other.
Before I bring why Kerr isn't fired on the show, Sharia, what are your thoughts on what is apparently a fact following tonight's game? Jimmy Butler apparently did not shake hands with any of the Miami Heat players or coaches after the game.
I noticed that. I was looking to see who embraced.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It's so many layers to whatever happened in Miami. We'll never know unless Kevin Love tweets. We'll just never know.
Is Kevin Love's not still on that team, is he?
No, I think he plays for Utah. Or where did he go? Did he go to Utah? He's no longer there.
I think he's just out now. Yeah, I think he's just old and not officially retired, but not in the league anymore.
I think he went to Utah, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yeah. But then I don't think he's on there now. Like, I think he got traded to Utah, and then his contract ran. I don't know what happened to him, actually. If anyone in the chat knows, Tony, that guy, saying, yeah, Utah. But I thought that was last year. And I'm trying to figure out.
No, he's there this year.
So he's actually, like, he wears the uniform?
I think I've seen him. I think he's, because I do believe I remember him being a little bit more gray than normal.
Yeah, he's getting up there
I've seen him.
Yeah, he's getting up there in years. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, and James Bowman in her chat saying, with the face of that dude from what was that show? Not Lord of the Rings. What's that show, Sharia? I know you don't watch TV shows that often.
Is it Game of
Thrones? Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Game of
okay.
Thrones. Yes,
Game of Thrones. I figured it was Game of Thrones.
That's the dude from Game of Thrones. And anyways, he's saying he played last night. Okay, so he still plays.
Yeah, he's out here.
Yeah, and KKS saying he was chopping it up with LeBron last night. That's interesting. Okay. Why Kerr isn't fired? Welcome to the program. How you doing?
What's up, Cy? How you doing, Sharif?
Your name's Quinten, correct?
Yes, it's Quinten.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead. Good to see you.
I was calling because, man, Cy, you're so funny, man.
Thank you.
I love your optimism about the team, but yeah, we're cooked, man. As long as Kerr is coaching, we're cooked.
Steph is just ruling Steph out. You're saying he's not enough?
Steph stopped being enough in 2022.
Oh no!
I'm saying Steph with the right coach could definitely bring us another championship. In my mind, Steph's supposed to have at least 6 rings right now.
I know. That's why Kerr, look, if and I've said this repeatedly over and over again. I'll say it again. If they win a 5th championship this year, Kerr's good in my book. I'm never criticizing him again. He's above criticism to me. But Steph is that great of an all-time player that the fact he has 4 and not at least 5 is borderline criminal. And that's on Steve, man. That to me, that's on Steve. That's just my opinion.
My thing is, you have the optimism of when Melton come back, he's gonna take some of Pai's minutes.
So you're saying I'm delusional? It's okay. Am I delusional thinking that?
Man, if anything, I think he's gonna take post minutes. He's gonna take Trace minutes. He's gonna take Kuminga's minutes. Because just think of this season, Steve Kerr has already showed us he will play Jimmy Butler at the 5. He already showed us that.
I've seen it twice at least. Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. So why would Melton come back, take away Pai's minutes? Kerr showed us that he's not gonna go bigger, he's gonna go smaller.
Here's why, besides the wishful thinking part, which is where I might be delusional, but the realistic approach to this is Melton was starting the very brief stint that he had with the Warriors last year at the start of the season. He was starting and he actually did have the role. Like Podziemski was pushed back into the second unit because of DeAnthony Melton. That's the only reason, really. I've seen it, and I can only hope and pray to anyone listening that DeAnthony Melton will take Podziemski's minutes, but you're probably right.
I just want
Sharia, what do you think about that? I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Sharia?
I think he's right. It's Kuminga. I knew the other day that Will was going to take Kuminga's minutes. I called it. I said it to my sister, and he did.
Well, here's a follow-up to both of you for that. Sharia, I'll start with you because I always believe in ladies first. Chivalry should never die, and I hope that's not anyone takes that as a sexist thing. That's not the thinking at all. But I don't think this world is lacking in chivalry. Is that a fair statement, Sharia, or am I being too pig-headed?
I don't know. It depends.
Okay. Depends. Okay. All right. That's fair. Well, if I'm being rude here, saying you should go first. Forgive me.
No.
But I'll start with you, Sharia. In asking this, there was some people think that Kerr makes a lot of his personnel decisions based on salary, right? Like, well, this person makes this much, so they're going to get this many minutes. And Kuminga is now technically the 4th highest paid player on the team. Is there any hope that Steve Kerr will follow that line of logic, and so Kuminga will not be penalized minutes-wise?
I mean, there's hope, but I just don't think it's realistic.
What are your thoughts on that, Quinn?
No, it's not any hope to that because Chris Paul wasn't Chris Paul making a veteran minimum on our team?
God,
he was
no,
starting.
It wasn't a minimum, but it wasn't a lot.
Oh,
You're right.
It wasn't a lot.
Yeah, and just think about that. He had Chris Paul and Steph starting. Come on, man. Like, I have no faith in Steve Kerr. I promise you, I have no faith. I want people to just think about this. Off all the Steve Kerr stands. Steve Kerr coaching record without Steph in the lineup is 75 and 113.
Oof.
He's 38 games under 500 when Steph don't play. And,
Quinten,
and that's
I'm
including.
going to push back really quickly, and I'm not pushing back because I care. I'm pushing back just to make this interesting, and I also think the Kerr stands will push back with this. Take out the 15 and what was their record that season? They won 15 games, right? So it was like 15.
Yeah, they won 15 games.
Take that season out, and what's the record? Because that season was abysmal. Is it like a 500 record if you take that out?
Let me see.
It was something like that. I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying, and I'm with you. But my guess is that's what the pushback will be from the Kerr stands. They'll be like, but dude, you can't count that 1920 season. You just can't.
When do we see the Warriors win besides that season? When do we see them win without Steph? Like, I still don't see that. When Steph is sick, when he's hurt, we lose to any team, and for some reason Steve Kerr gets the grace.
Do you guys think Will Richard stays in the starting lineup?
If we're on a losing streak, he's gonna switch it up. Of course, he's gonna switch the starting lineup. He's the only coach that do that. Yep. like the players can't figure it out how to get off a losing streak. I don't know, but I don't know who's gonna get the minutes, to be honest.
So you think
Once Milton comes back,
what do you think?
I think he stays because of Kerr's pride. He doesn't want to be wrong. I think he stays.
Okay.
Just strictly based on pride. Even if his numbers don't come up, he's still gonna stay.
Ramona Hernandez is feeling me on this one. I feel like the moment things just aren't perfect with the Warriors, Kerr's just like, I gotta change something. Gotta go to that starting lineup. That's just the impulse, man. It takes like seconds, and and then James Baum adding the Pacers. The Pacers are 1-13 this year. That one win. What an ugly game that was, man. I'm still bitter about that.
With the whole Pods thing, man, like Pods was only good his first season when he led the league in charges and he was out there getting rebounds, even creating assists. But I think it's only because he was like the 6th option his first year. You know, now he's depended on. And since he's depended on, it's like he's thinking score when he should think facilitate, play defense, and, you know, be an energy guy. But I don't know what Pods is doing. Pods suck. Buddy Hield, he's trash.
Oh, he's awful.
To give you some perspective on Podziemski here, Pods last year put up 11.7 points per game. This year it's at 11.5, and I think that's going to go up a little bit. I don't know if this factors tonight's game as well. I don't think it does. 3-point shooting this year is at 38.7%. That's going to go down a little bit after tonight, because tonight Podziemski was 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. So it's going to take a slight dip. Last year was at 37.2. Rookie year was 38.5. So there is a trend there. Like Podziemski's career 3-point shooting percentage is 37.9. He was at 43.8 in college, and I think that's what they were aspiring for with him. Like, that's a huge reason they drafted him, was someone who grabs boards and can shoot the three. I don't know if that 3-point number is going to change. I mean, we're now, year 3, and he gets consistent run, and there's no change in that number. It's just kind of just flat, 37, 38. That's what we see from him, and that's not that good, by the way.
That's terrible.
It's
to me.
Terrible is a strong word, but it's not good. You're not bragging about that number either. It's a mid number. It's just mid. It's just
and lastly, the last thing I want to say, the people who don't give Gee, Trace, or Pat any grace, they are idiots. How do you supposed to have rhythm, cohesion, chemistry if you're getting multiple DNPs in a row, or you're getting short stints in a random game that's probably a blowout? Like, how do you supposed to be in the rhythm and flow of the game and come out and make shots and be on the string defensively? Like, it's impossible. So those people, you are right, side to criticize them and critique them, and the Jim Park guy, you are right to critique all those idiots for the trying to shit on Gee and Trace, when to me they deserve more minutes every game.
Just remember this, man. Twitter is not real life. Jim Park, I don't know if he exists without Twitter. Like, no one in the real world, if you said that name, would even know who he is. I just don't understand why people take him and people like him seriously. He's a fan. And side note, the guy was a Kings fan until the Warriors started becoming good. There's like receipts of it. And the more I've learned about the guy, that's why, because some people are like, dude, bring him on the show. And I'm like, why? Like, for what reason? I like, if he ever invited me, I'd go on his show in a second, of course, because why not? Let's have some fun. But I'm not going to bring him on here so I can create. It's going to be contentious, undoubtedly, because I'm going to call him out on all the ignorance, and then he's just going to, I don't know. Again, look, if you folks really want to see that, convince him to invite me on his show. I'll go on in a second, and then I'll even invite him back after if we do that. But why do people care what he thinks? He's a fan who, until 2013, was a Kings fan, and then the dynasty started, and like a lot of people, he was like, ooh, what's that shiny thing over there? And he became a Warriors fan, and that's Jim Park for you. So just don't listen to him, which I know is easier said than done, but
right.
Anyway. Quinten, any final thoughts, or Shreya, any thoughts?
No, thank y'all, man. I appreciate talking to y'all every day. Cherie, you know your ball. Sai, you know what you're talking about, bro.
I try, man. I do appreciate you saying that, though, brother. It does mean the world, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Seriously. Have a great night, brother. That is Quinten, who calls himself Why Kerr is Fired. You ready for one more, Shreya, and then we'll wrap it up?
Sure.
How's life with you, by the way? I don't know if I've checked in on you just to see how you're doing.
Pretty good. I don't have any complaints.
Good. Family's good?
Family's doing good. No complaints. Just this game, and that's it.
Does the family watch with you, or are you all alone in this experience when you're watching a game?
Everyone's usually asleep, so.
Oh. Okay.
Everyone's usually asleep and rested. My house closes at 7:30, and if the game is coming on, I close it down earlier than that. And
are you like a natural night owl? Is that why you stay up, or is it the Warriors fandom, or what's going on there?
No, I'm a night owl. I'm a creative. Okay. So a lot of times with creatives, your wheels turn at night.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you know that's when I create the most and do the most. During the day, I'm usually resting.
Yeah, and if the Warriors games like these post game shows make it impossible for me to go to sleep right away. So. And instinctually, I am a night owl like you, but I also try to be a part of the real world, right? And
me too. If I'm working, if I'm on a show and I'm working, of course I'm up during the day, and I watch the game on my phone usually at work.
That's funny. So the family doesn't even care about the Warriors, like they just.
Oh, the family does care about the Warriors. My mom and my sister in South Carolina do.
Oh, but not the husband and not the daughter.
My little girl watches. She's 5, and she's been watching since she was born. So she watches. She understands a little bit. My husband is more of a Formula One guy.
Is the movie good? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but he has. He said it was pretty good.
for whatever reason, Apple TV has just dragged their asses getting that movie available for us Apple TV subscribers. I think early December is when they're going to finally make the people who try not to spend extra money on top of all the monthly fees we're already paying to watch a movie early. I can't wait to see it. I'm. But are you not a movie person either? Is it just like is fiction?
It's hard when you work in the industry. You don't see television the way that a normal person would see it. Your eyes train different. So you just don't get to enjoy it because you're just looking at the takes and everything else. It's hard.
There's an old adage that goes, don't meet your heroes. And I used to be a huge baseball fan. I worked at KNBR for almost 10 years. To this day, I don't give a shit about baseball anymore. And I know part of it is the game slowed down, but I actually got to know who runs the Giants, and it turned me off. Just meeting them, getting to know them, it turned me off so much. I like the, and then the A's left, and they were such a downtrodden, shitty organization, anyways. That I was like, dude, this is not cool. I encourage all of you. Thankfully, the Warriors, and that's part of the reason why I like to keep distance from the Warriors too. I don't want to get jaded like that with the Warriors either. But yeah, don't meet your heroes. I think that's a sound piece of advice. If you really are passionate or love something, keep your distance, because it's the bubble will burst. It's very rare for someone to actually live up to the standards.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you on that, is what I'm trying to say. All right, we're gonna got 2 more people and we'll call it a night. Lucian joins us. Lucian, how you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
All right, how are you?
I'm doing great. Even though we lost tonight, but I was expecting that. I was honestly expecting us to lose the 2 Spurs games too. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't. I feel like that would have got a fire under Kerr's ass. He spoke about the turnovers today, and I'm like, he keeps changing the starting lineups. Even the second unit is always different. So I'm like, I don't know how you expect to develop chemistry when you're constantly changing up the starting lineup. So I think the starting lineup should be Steph, Moody, JK, Jimmy, and Post. I think the real thing that's holding Steve Kerr and the whole team back is Draymond, who is interesting because he brought up agendas. I'm like, if Draymond was really about that life, he would come off the bench as a 6th man. I feel like his role, the energy that he brings defensively, would benefit us off the second unit, giving us a little fire off the bench. JK's been doing everything that Kerr asked him to outside of scoring, which I don't think is a priority that Kerr has for JK. This fan base and people like Jim Park, Athletic Alchemy, I think is another one.
Yeah.
It seems like if JK isn't putting up points, then people like kind of bash him a little bit. I don't think that's fair. If you look at Moody, he's up and down. I think that's mainly due to Kerr minutes and everything like that, and also rotations. But we also don't count that JK is being asked to do more than most of those young guys on the court. He's being asked to guard 1 through 5. He's being asked to play make. He's being asked to score, but not to force it. So he can't go in like ISO. He can't call for an ISO. He can't try to dribble in the penetration and get to the rim to get those foul calls. He's being told to look to pass first and rebound. So I understand like why everybody has this hate towards him specifically when he's doing everything that he's supposed to do in the confines that Kerr has around him. But I think the biggest thing is bringing Draymond off the bench. I think if Draymond spoke up and was like, hey, I'm going to come off the bench. Let's go 20 games with this starting unit, see where we go. Let's get the chemistry going. I feel like that could do a lot for this team and even Kerr's faith in the younger guys on this team, because he would have no choice but to really put his faith in them and actually like have them go out and hustle and learn how to win, learn how to pull out these wins. I think that's one thing that we saw tonight is that these guys don't really know how to win. They hustle. They all hustle. Every single one of them hustle, but they don't know how to win yet, and especially not together. So I think that's a big thing. If we were going to make trades, I think Buddy should be the main one to go. I don't know if we could get like a stretch. Like we need another wing. I feel like a wing is more important than another big right now, especially with the way Kerr likes to play. If we get a wing like what's that guy? People brought up Denny of Jihad, but there's another forward that they have over there. Kamara.
Oh, Tumani Kamara, yeah. But
Yeah,
he just
like a
signed an
6'7".
and Portland will not give him up either.
I know they
They
won't give him
actually,
up, but a player like that, like
yeah.
a wing that can like around 6'7", 6'8", that can kind of play that small forward, power forward position where you can have Draymond play center if you need him to. You can switch out posts.
Trey
Or
Murphy is the name that I think seems to be the most ideal. And again, I don't know if New Orleans would do that, but
I only see
would you
Bleacher
agree?
Report and Golden State fans clamoring for Trey Murphy. I don't think he's really a person that we can get. I don't even think New Orleans is trying to get rid of him at the moment.
I don't know. I have no idea what Joe Dumars is doing. I honestly don't even know how he got back into the game as an executive. I mean, he got pushed out because he chose to draft Darko Milicic or whatever his name is instead of Carmelo Anthony with the number 2 pick. And look, he won a title with the Pistons 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. I don't know how he got back into this. That trade, he gave up the team's first round pick. I mean, that could be a number 1 pick in an insanely deep draft, and he just gave it away. Look, this Queens guy might be good, who he traded for, but
I like Queens.
But the number 1 pick. I mean, the Pelicans are awful, and every Warriors fan who watched the game. Look, Stephen Curry normally wherever he goes draws a packed house. Even he couldn't bring people into New Orleans. That stadium was half empty. And I like I went to a Pelicans game once when the Warriors visited there. I had fun, but the fact that place is dying. Joe Dumars is an awful GM. So I don't know. I can't read his mind in terms of whether or not Trey Murphy is going to be available, but I feel you on that. And in case, look, for the people in the chat who are pushing back on your take, let's not forget last December when Kuminga was inserted into the starting lineup and Dre came off the bench. Like that actually was a thing for a month plus before Kuminga hurt the ankle, and that was the end of the experiment. But I don't hate the idea. I mean, look, Draymond's going to have to get minutes. He has to close the game for you, but for the betterment of the team, I don't hate the idea. I highly doubt Kerr's going to do it, but I don't know, Sheree, what's your take on it?
I don't think. I remember when he did that though. I just don't think. I don't think he's going to do it. Draymond is that he runs that defense. You know.
Yeah.
He screens well for
the same
Steph.
way as he used to. Like he
has
his moments. He has his moments, but if you're not going to be like a surefire, like all team first defender or whatever, I don't see the importance of having him start, especially when he's taking shots away from guys like Moody or JK when they're in the court, and you have Jimmy out there who has to decide, am I passing or am I scoring? You got Draymond sitting on the perimeter. You got 4 guys on the perimeter and a ball handler trying to figure out, okay, am I driving or am I dishing it out because Draymond's at the 3-point line? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that can't happen. It can't happen. It's causing log jams. It's making our offense even more predictable and easier to defend. You know what I mean? Guys having to work harder on defense because you can't score on offense. You're having to run up court. Like, guys are getting tired and winded. The communication on defense, like, that's a huge thing because the lineups aren't consistent. And you also have 3 to 4 guards out there consistently with your big man mainly being 6'6". And then your second guy is like usually JK or Jimmy, who are like 6'7", I believe.
Mm-hmm.
JK is mostly a small forward. He can guard power forwards, but I don't think you want him guarding power forwards too often. And trying to defend the rim and having to crash out at the same time. They're constantly switching. There's a bunch of issues due to the lineups, and then the amount of minutes that he's playing guys like Pods and Buddy Hield. If you want to do those kind of things, you have to have the right pieces out there, the right lineups out there if you want to run 4-guard lineups.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in our chat, Nicholas Vince saying the Warriors are going to the playoffs for the 5th straight season. They did not go to the playoffs 2 years ago. The play-in does not count as the postseason. It's like a weird little in-between middle ground. So not true. I also, Simon 2 in the chat real fast. I don't know. This just resonated with me. I want to bring it up that The Simon 2 notices that a lot of the old heads, a lot of older Warriors fans appreciate Kerr because they remember all the dark ages. Look, I'm one of those guys.
I'm one of them.
and Shree is one of them. And I get it. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to just, I don't like underachievement. Okay, that's just me. To me, like, if you have the potential and you have a ceiling and you're not hitting that, something's wrong. And that's what I see with this team for like 3+ years now. Like, they're underachieving.
Right.
They're not playing the best players. You have a head coach who is just endlessly trying to figure out what fits best. And we're learning more and more with each year that passes that his modus operatus is, what do I have to do to make Steph happy and Steph thrive? And everything else is so secondary that I don't see how that's good for the greater picture, right? And for the team. And it's a crazy situation that we're in. But Simon too, I hear you on that. I have sensed that from a lot of people, but that is not how I roll, man. I'm all about like what's happening now. And now just a lot of iffiness. By the way, Playboy Brendan. Yeah, sorry. Brendel. I don't know, whatever it is. Writing JK for Josh Giddey. The Bulls will not trade Giddey. Actually, that's all. I don't know what else to say about that. The Bulls wouldn't do that. They like Giddey, and I don't know if the Warriors would do that either for Giddey. But anyways, Lucian, any final thoughts? Great call.
No, that's it for me. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. No, that was awesome. Where are you joining us from?
St. Pete, Florida.
St. Pete. Oh, okay. So right next to Tampa?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Do you like living there?
I love it out here. It's easy going. It's hot. It's hot.
That's the part that makes me always have doubts about that area. Is it because it gets hot and you have to deal with hurricanes, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, and if you have like allergies, it's horrible. It's like year round out here.
Interesting.
The South. It's the South. It's awful with allergies.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Savannah's the same way. Augusta.
Yeah. I can't go to Georgia. I stay away from Georgia. I can't survive out there.
It's bad.
It is hot. Lucian, you were fantastic. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Real quick in the chat, Berto saying Kerr with 4 championships, 2 Olympic golds, 1 Olympic gold. And again, if you're going to rely on that 4 championship thing, bring up Casey Jones, who also has 4 championships as a coach. And the moment he had to actually lead a younger team, got pushed out within a year. That was the Seattle Supersonics. Casey Jones also has 12 championships total, 8 as a player, and those were all because he played alongside Bill Russell, 4 as a coach, and that was coaching Larry Bird Celtics. And there's a reason why no one talks about him today, because some people are just at the right place at the right time. Casey Jones also never got into the Hall of Fame as a coach. He did get in as a player, even though the numbers were not necessarily Hall of Fame worthy. But when you win that many rings as a player, especially for those Celtics teams, that was a dynasty. My point is, if you're going to try to bring up the 4 rings as like hey man, we just got to, no matter what, defer to this guy. Not necessarily. And there's case studies for why that is. Casey Jones, chief among them. And Harmonies, I think, represents a far more accurate picture, which is Stephen Curry is a 4-time champion with 1 gold, not 2. So Berto, I just want some, and it's to be factually correct at a bare minimum. Young West adding the Bulls would not trade Kobe White for Moody. I do that. I consider that at least. Would you consider that?
I like
think
Kobe
about
White.
it. What's up?
I like Kobe White.
Yeah, me too. Simon 2's asking, how was Larry Bird as a coach? I thought he was awesome. I thought Larry Bird was a great coach with the Pacers. I mean, he had the same problem as most had because Michael Jordan was the opposition. Like Larry Bird would have probably gotten at least 1 ring as a coach if his teams weren't always up against the Jordan's Bulls. Hell of an era. Sheree, you and I are almost the same age. Like, did you watch in the 90s? Like, were you immersed?
Yeah, I think I got here in 1990 or 1991, and that was around the time the Bulls were, doing well. I remember. Yeah, I did watch as a kid. I watched.
Are you ready for some Chardol? We'll keep it short and brief, and then
Sure.
we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
Chardol, how are you doing, buddy?
Hi, Sai. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make
Big
some
fan of
great
yours.
content videos on the platform. The Miami Heat take down the Golden State Warriors 110-96. The Warriors had so many ample opportunities to win this basketball game that they failed on every opportunity that was given to them. This
Was
is
it
the
crazy,
reason why this
Chardol?
team really pisses me off, because they have good games. Some days this team has the best game, and some days they just lay an egg on the basketball court. I don't understand what is about this team. What do you think about the
Real quick. Baby Case is saying he or she disagrees with me, but about what? I don't know what you disagree about.
so what are your so this team is like they win, sometimes they go on a big run and they win a lot of games, and other times they don't. Do you think this team is inconsistent, inconsistent basketball team, the Warriors? Do you think they're inconsistent?
Yes.
And what makes them inconsistent, if I ask you, in your humble opinion?
That's a good question. I'm sure you start off with that. That's Chardol, I don't like to think this deep this late in the show. We're like 2 hours in. Okay. Here you want to know why they're inconsistent. Let's start with the rotations. The rotations are inconsistent. You're never going to get consistency from younger players who are primarily the reason for the inconsistency. It is the non-veteran core. And if you're going to ask, well, why are they inconsistent? Is it just who they are? Is it something that can be fixed over time? Yeah, it can be fixed over time, but you got to give them consistent minutes. You got to give them consistent roles. You need them to feel confident that if they make a mistake, they're not going to get penalized for that. Meaning, if a player misses a shot, that one missed shot's not going to cost them 10 minutes of playing time, right? So I think
I'm a big fan of the Warriors, but I just we lost out on key players from this game. Stephen Curry was out, Jimmy Butler was out, Draymond Green was out, Al Horford was out. I mean, you can't win if those players not on the court. How are you gonna win a basketball game when Stephen Curry is not playing? He's your greatest shooter on the court, and how will you win a game when he's not playing? Like, can you please explain to me that, Sai, you've been doing this show for so many years on Golden Days? Can you please explain to me why without Stephen Curry you don't win a basketball game? I mean, clear and simple.
Chardol, how many subscribers are you up to right now? Where are you?
504.
504. Okay, so again, folks, just all you got to do is follow SGA Sports Talk. It's on YouTube. Chardol's at 504. What your goal now is 600.
My goal is 600.
Okay, so we're
hey,
gonna
Sharia, it's great having you on the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love you and everything about you. I wish you had a YouTube channel so I could follow you on your YouTube channel if you had like social media, Instagram, Twitter, something like that. If you had it, I would go directly to your YouTube channel and click that subscribe button. Show some love to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Chardol, but I don't have YouTube. I don't. But I did follow your channel.
So I'm gonna be going to the Sharks game tomorrow.
Ooh. How is Macklin Celebrini doing?
Macklin Celebrini is one of the greatest young stardoms on this Sharks team. He scored a hat trick yesterday at the game yesterday. 3 goals in one game, and they were throwing hats on the ice.
Not octopi, just hats. That's a Detroit
just hats,
thing, right?
Just hats. Okay. Octopus are too violent. I don't think the NHL encourages throwing octopuses on the ice.
I don't think they do either, but I think that's a Detroit tradition. Where I could be wrong on that, but I think if at a Detroit Red Wings game, if a player gets a hat trick, they throw octopi on the floor instead of hats.
But the San Jose Sharks do not condone throwing octopuses on the ice.
Right, it's octopi, and for Sharks game they throw shark fins, right?
No, they throw hats on the ice.
I'm teasing. I was gonna say shark teeth next, but no.
Why are you getting under my skin?
I'm not trying to.
You always try and play around with me.
Not always, just sometimes.
No, Sai, you're the only. Sai, you're the only. Hey, Sai, right? You're the only person. Sai, you're the only person that can f around with me.
I don't think I'm even effing around with you. I'm just joking around with you like I do my friends, Chardol. That's all.
Yeah, but
That's how I roll, man.
yeah, this was
Okay.
tough
Trying to have fun.
loss for the Warriors today. I mean, they should have gotten the win over the Heat. I mean, they were just like, it was just a great win. I mean a great loss. It was a tough loss.
Shardal, when are you going up to Mendocino? Because I know you have plans coming up where you're going to go up to Mendo with the family, correct?
November 22nd.
It's like in 3 days. Are you excited?
I'm excited. So, Shreya, so what have you seen from this Warriors team? What has impressed you from the roster, from all the players on this team, from Steph Curry to Moses Moody to Draymond Green? What has impressed you today? I mean, like, has this team impressed you, or are you like optimist? Are you highly optimistic about this organization?
I'm optimistic, but nothing's impressed me this far.
Yeah, but this was Jimmy Butler's homecoming, and I was really hoping to see him play in Miami, the team that he played for before he got traded to the Warriors. That was a blockbuster move, by the way, when he got traded to the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the news was breaking when that came up on all over social media. People were like, Jimmy Butler's coming to Golden State. Jimmy Butler's coming to the Warriors. This is going to be so big. I mean, like, he's going to be like, it's a big splash when he came over to play for our team. And I was like so excited. I'm like, we get Jimmy Butler with Steph Curry and Draymond Green? Like, are you kidding me? Jimmy Butler's coming to Golden State? I was like losing my mind, literally.
Shardal, did you follow up with that sports bar and try to hit him up for a sponsorship?
I don't know if they'll. I didn't ask them, but I don't know if they'll. You know,
you get a cut of that. You know, you get a percentage. That's actually a way for you to make some money.
Yeah, they'll say no.
You don't know that. You don't know unless you try.
No, they're gonna deny me if I try and ask them to get a sponsorship for Golden Days. They'll say no.
Why? Why do you think that? Don't be a naysayer. Don't be negative. You don't know until you try.
But they don't know me. The people that work there.
It doesn't matter. That's and this is where Shardal, you can actually introduce yourself as a representation of the program. Say, hi, my name is Shardal. What's your last name, Shardal?
Gupta.
Say, hi, my name is Shardal Gupta. I'm an account executive with one of, if not the most viewed and listened to programs covering the Golden State Warriors, and we're interested in you as a sponsor. And you make it like it's like you're doing them a favor. And they're not going to just reject you. I mean, on top of that, and this is a lesson for all you folks out there who are in the sales world, it's a hell of a lot harder for someone to say no to you in person than it is with an email or something like that. So if you're actually in the building talking to someone who has the power to make decisions, you might actually make some money, and you'll get a good cut of that. We get to discuss that off the air, but you'll get a cut. You'll make some cash.
But I went to Big Al's, the sports bar in Milpitas. And they have 49er memorabilia, San Francisco 49ers memorabilia. They have a Stephen Curry framed jersey in there. They have a Draymond Green signed jersey in there. They have a Joe Montana jersey in there, a Nick Bosa signed jersey in there as well. They got some Rams helmets, some 49er helmets, Seahawks helmets, all kinds of fun little memorabilia. I love going to sports bars. That's why I love going to sports bars and watching the Warriors. Because I love to see all the memorabilia all around the whole sports bar. All the different teams.
What do you do to get your drink on? Like, what are you downing?
I get a margarita. That's my standard.
Hey now, look at you. You're a tequila drinker. That's a wild card, Shardal. I did not have that penciled in for the Shardal ticket. Tequila margaritas. Look at you. I like that. Good taste. Good taste.
I got good taste in what I like.
Yes. Give us a final.
And I love that I have so many great loving parents that are always there for me when I'm sad, and then when I need somebody to lean on for support, I can always go to them to give me that extra support that I need. So I'm happy that I have two loving parents who are always there for me.
It's more that you are lucky. That's incredible. Congratulations.
That's the greatest thing anybody can ever receive, to have such loving parents. Because
I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like you're winning life's lottery if you actually have good parents.
That's true. And if you're a good parent.
And that. Shardal, give us your closing line so we can get out of here.
So viewers, make sure to click the like button. smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell for golden
Please.
days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. And also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel if you like Golden State Warriors content, San Francisco Giants content, 49ers content, and Sharks content. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm at 504 subscribers, and I'm on the road to 600 subscribers on my channel.
Congratulations.
Sai, I really love coming on your show.
I love having you.
You got that great sense of humor that you really bring to the show. And you bring the entertainment as well.
Life's too short, right? I mean, life's too short, man. We're here 1 minute, gone the next. So why make it so serious? You know what I'm saying? Right? No.
I don't. Yeah, you make the show entertaining. And Shreya, it's also great that you are on here. You should be here you should be regular coming on the show and being as a co-host all the time in every post-game show. You should be on here. You should be on here. I would love to see you every time if I be here. I should see you here every time I'm in this. Every time I'm here.
I'm gonna
I
try.
hope to get to a point where I can pay you, Shreya. I'm working on
it.
that.
I do it for the love, though.
I know you
I'm
do.
being
I know
honest.
you
I
do,
do it
but-
for the love. It does a lot for me.
I know, but time is money.
So,
you're giving us that. I hope someday. Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Tough loss for the Golden State Warriors. They fall 110-96 versus the Miami Heat. I think this team is. This team is gonna bounce back. This team is gonna, win a lot of games. I would love to see Steph Curry back. From the sprained ankle that he suffered against Orlando. But next time I come on the the Warriors postgame show, I'll talk a little Warriors, and I'll also bring up the Sharks. I'll talk a little Sharks when I come on.
And Niners. Your boy Brock Purdy looked good. Your boy Brock Purdy looked good.
See, Brock, that game for Brock Purdy was very emotional, because he returned to his hometown. He went to Perry High School in Gilbert, Arizona, and he also went to Queen Creek, Arizona, as well. So he's an Arizona boy, born and raised in Arizona. Ricky Pearsall is also born in Phoenix, Arizona, as well. So we got two Arizona boys on this 49ers team.
Good knowledge.
And Ricky Pearsall went to Corona del Sol High School in Arizona. He attended Arizona State University, played for the Sun Devils, and he was born in Phoenix, Arizona as well.
Good stuff.
I know a lot about. I should be a 49ers insider. A Warriors insider.
James Ballman in our chat is saying Mac Jones is his quarterback. What's your thoughts on that, real fast?
The 49ers should trade Mac Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars and make Brock Purdy the starter.
Okay, there you go. All right. Shardall, have a great night. And
it was
we're
great coming on
from Mendocino, right?
You'll hear from me from Mendocino, but it was great coming on the show. I'm a big fan of you, and I'll definitely join you for another Warriors postgame show when the Warriors go up against the Portland Trailblazers.
Love you, Shardall.
I'll see you then. Have a great night. See you.
You have a great.
See you.
Whoops. Bye. Shardall is one of a kind. Shreya, do you have the energy for a quick scoreboard check before we go?
Sure.
Love it. I love it. Let's see what's elsewhere in the NBA. I like doing this mostly. It keeps me. It's a selfish reason I do it. Forgive me, but it keeps me in tune with the rest of the NBA, and I hope it does the same service for the audience as well. Let me get that QR code off my screen. Forgive me for that. That's if you're looking for some holiday items. These holidays, sorry to be redundant, check out our merch store. It's available on our YouTube channel. That QR code I just had a second ago. Here it is again. If you're looking for awesome gift ideas, just check it out. I'm actually going to wear a new hat. I don't do that often. I get glued to my hats, but I have a new one coming, and it's going to be one that we sell. So stay tuned for that. And if you see it and you like it, just go to our store and purchase it. But for now, let's check out what's elsewhere in the NBA. Have you done all your holiday shopping, Shreya? Like, are the gifts for the hubby, for the kid, for whoever you buy them for? Is that settled, or is it way too soon?
Way too soon.
I hear you on that. Well, elsewhere in the NBA, on this, what's the date? November 19th. I love the fact that it's only 9:20 p.m. right now. That's incredible Pacific time. I know it's 12:20 your time, Sharia, but even by your standards, it's still early for the end of a Warriors game. Elsewhere in the association, well, this game is not finalized. I don't know if you have it on your TV in front of you, Sharia, but the Knicks and the Mavericks, there's only 5.9 seconds left to play. We'll get back to this in just a second, but the Knicks lead 112-111 over the Dallas Mavericks. The Knicks are currently 8-5. The Mavericks 4-11. Jalen Brunson is back. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
27 points in this game. D'Angelo Russell 23.7 assists for Dallas. When did Jalen come back, Sharia? And what's how are folks in Jersey and New York feeling about their Knickerbockers?
I haven't heard anything negative. I think Jalen may have came back today because I don't think the last Knicks game I played, I don't remember seeing him. So I feel like he came back maybe today.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this might be his first game back.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe this game or the last game, but I believe I watched the last game and didn't see him.
Well, he's back. We'll if we get a final score, we'll let you know. Another game that's in the tail end of it. This game only has 26.7 seconds left, and I think this one's on ESPN right now. The Trailblazers leading the Bulls 119-116. Denny Avdia, his name was mentioned on the show earlier as a prospective trade candidate for Jonathan Kuminga, has a triple-double, 31 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Nikola Vucevic, we also talked about, 24 points, 7 rebounds for the Bulls. That one still has 26.7 seconds remaining. Portland's trying to improve on a 6-8 record. The Bulls currently 7-6. The Houston, and Sharia, please jump in at any point for any of these. The Houston Rockets, this was actually a good game earlier. 114-104 winners on the road at Cleveland, a team that's slightly underperforming this year. The Rockets improved to 10-3 on the season. The Cavs dropped to 10-6. Friendly reminder again, the Rockets playing their 13th game of the season tonight. The Warriors have played 14 road games this season. Just to give you some context for how brutal the schedule's been for the Warriors. Alperen Şengün, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. DeAndre Hunter, 25 points in the loss for Cleveland. Sharia, has this been an underachieving type year for the Cavs? What's your take?
Yes, I don't know what's wrong with them. Yes,
I don't know either.
Yes, quite surprised. I think the Bucks take their spot.
Good call. It must be Ty Jerome, right? It has to be, because that's the only thing that changed. Well, the Pacers, we had someone in the chat earlier trolling a little bit, saying that the 1-13 Pacers, their one lone win came against the Golden State Warriors. Wrong! Not anymore, because they hosted America's favorite team, the Charlotte Hornets, and they won tonight, 127-118. Indiana improves to 2-13, which makes, I believe, who's the only one-win team? Is it Brooklyn? Well, the Hornets dropped to 4-11. Benedict Mathurin, 24 points, 12 rebounds in the win. Con Knuppel, an early candidate for Rookie of the Year, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists in the loss. Charlotte drops to 4-11. There you go. Toronto. This is a definite surprise upstart team for the season. Sharia, 121-112 winners tonight. Toronto was over the Philadelphia 76ers in Philly. The Raptors are now 10-5. Philly drops to 8-6. Jakob Poeltl, 19 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Tyrese Maxey, 24 points, 9 assists, 3 steals in the loss. What do you make of the Raptors being 10-5?
They're having fun.
Good take.
They're having fun.
Good take.
They're having fun. They're young. They're athletic, and they enjoy one another. That's what you see with them.
I like that. It's a good take. Because these are all human beings, right? Like, you can look at all the analytics you want, but sometimes it comes down to just who's happier, who's hungrier, who wants it more. Minnesota improves to 10-5, 120-109 winners tonight over the Wizards. They are your one-win team. The Wizards dropped to 1-13. Minnesota improves to 10-5. Julius Randle, 32 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in the win. Washington, led by which George is it? I always forget his name. It's not Keontae. It's You're gonna make me look it up. Hold on. Keyshawn George leading the way for the Wizards tonight with 23 points in the loss. And I'm always curious with the minutes with the Wizards because they have so many young pieces.
Yeah, I don't know him. Who is that guy? I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who Keyshawn George is either. Who's suddenly becoming like one of their best players because every time I do one of these scoreboards, he's the guy whose name I'm reading.
Okay.
He was drafted last year. He's a second year wing who was the 24th pick in last year's draft by the Knicks. How he ended up on the Wizards, I don't know, but that's where he came from. So he's a year 2 player and he's playing well. But the dudes that I look at minutes wise on the Wizards and their coach reminds me of Steve Kerr. If Steve Kerr was coaching a team that did not have Stephen Curry, they'd be the Wizards. And the reason why I say that is because their head coach keeps giving Chris Middleton minutes, keeps giving CJ McCollum minutes. Why? What is the point? Your team is 1-13, and the young players who should be playing, like Corey Kispert, got a whopping 11 minutes tonight. Cam Whitmore got 20 minutes tonight. Bud Carrington, 17 minutes tonight. What are you doing? I've already said this on the show, and I'll say it again. Whoever's listening in the Wizards organization, and this is how downtrodden they are, because I wouldn't just jump at an opportunity to be in their front office, but I consider it. I would consider it. I'm not saying yes. That's how depressing it is in Washington. But yeah, there's something very wrong there. I feel like
no. I don't know what their future plans are. Does anyone know what their future plans are? Has anyone ever known?
Can they change their name for starters? To me, the Wizards is the worst nickname for any sports team in all the 4 sports. Right. I don't like that name. I get the Bullets needing to change that because the owner was shot. But Wizards? Is there some sort of connotation between the nation's capital and sorcery? Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Why are they called Wizards?
And what's their mascot?
That's a good question too. I have no idea. It must be like an old man with a big white beard, right?
I don't know.
Some Dave Letterman looking guy. I don't know. But something stinks there. There's a few franchises that just have a stench. It's the Wizards,
Nets,
the Nets, the Pelicans. There's just something foul going on there. Speaking of the Pelicans, they lost tonight at home to the Denver Nuggets. They did put up a fight, though, but they lost 125-118. The Nuggets improved to 11-3. Peyton Watson was their top performer, 32 points, 12 rebounds. Queen, their first-round draft pick, I forgot his name. Is it Derek Queen? I'm going to look that up real fast because I want to start getting that right consistently. Derek Queen, who the Pelicans essentially gave up their first round pick in next year's draft for. Unbelievable. He did have 30 points and 9 rebounds.
Oh, he did. Tonight. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's good. I've been watching him. He's pretty good.
We'll see. I mean, look, maybe he will be worth it. Who knows? But the Pelicans dropped to 2-13 on the year. 2 more games and we're done. The OKC Thunder improved to 15-1 on the year. I really do think the Warriors' win record is in jeopardy. I do. If anyone is going to do it, this OKC team, my God. Well, they took care of the Sacramento Kings, 113-99. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 33 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Precious Achiuwa, a late pickup by the Kings, a player who I would have preferred on the Warriors to Al Horford.
Right.
But the Kings got him. He had 15 points, 9 rebounds in that one. Sacramento drops to 3-12. Do you think the Thunder will break the Warriors' 73-win regular season mark?
Yeah.
You're leaning yes.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they're really good, and they're not even all playing.
They're really, really good. Any
like their bench alone could beat most teams. So
Julian Bashir bringing up Kuminga for Alex Caruso. That was a real option 2 years ago. The Warriors turned that one down. I'm happy they did. I mean, Alex Caruso's good, but I'll put it to you this way: if Alex Caruso was on this team right now, they're not a champion. Like, that's not the difference. And I'm not mortgaging my future for that. That's just me. So these games we brought up at the beginning, they're now finals. So we'll finish up with those. The Knicks did hold on to beat the Dallas Mavericks. Again, that game in Dallas, 113-111 the final. Jalen Brunson, and I believe his first game back after the injury, 28 points in the win. So they improved to 9-5. The Mavericks dropped to 4-12. And the Bulls came back to beat the Trailblazers. Final in that one, 122-121. Nikola Vucevic, 27 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Denny Avdia, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists in the loss. Portland drops to 6-8 on the year. The Bulls improve to 7-6. And that's your scoreboard. And that's your show. Shreya, any final thoughts as we wrap it up?
No, just, stay positive and just stay positive. The season is long.
Good advice. And friendly reminder again, I don't know when the next show is. The Warriors, they play Portland Friday. We'll at the latest we'll do a show Saturday or Sunday, just because I don't want to go all the way through next Tuesday before we do a post game again. So we will have at least one more show this weekend. I don't think we're gonna have a show tomorrow. And again, we will not have a show Friday night. I'll post updates everywhere, including on our YouTube stream as a new post, reminding people because I will be actually at Chase Center. So most likely Saturday will be a show where we'll catch up. And Shreya, you're again, anytime you're free, you are sitting in that co-host seat. I can't thank you enough. Thanks to the audience, as always. Thanks to all of you. And is that it? Any final messages? Anything you want to tell the audience before we go? Besides positivity and
that's optimism? It. Just positivity. The season's long.